another long-awaited episode of the Sports F.A.M. podcast.
Yay!
Right,
I think.
Yay.
This might be cool.
This has been a long time coming. We have had a lot of stuff going on.
Not long enough.
We've had a lot of stuff going on over the past, how long has it been since we recorded me and Luke's goof off episode? 6 weeks?
I don't know.
It's been a long time.
Into May. It was into May.
Yeah.
No, it was. It
middle
was
of
like
May.
the 19th. It was like the 18th
It was right
or
before
19th.
you guys went to the wedding.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that's true.
that
Middle
was-
of May.
Yeah, well, because I went on a trip to
Wow.
Spain for a week, which was cool. Hence why I'm wearing this souvenir shirt, the Barcelona shirt.
He made it himself,
No.
In art class.
as you
in
can see
Spain.
with his terrible staying in the line skills.
It's called abstract art, Luke.
Okay.
Oh, it looks terrible.
Anyway, we have a lot to get into today, but I wanted to just welcome everyone back to the show.
Is it over already?
Welcome back, everyone.
Are we done? That says an hour,
I'm
right?
so excited.
I've been going for an hour.
Yes, we've been going for it. Feels
Yeah.
like it already.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm actually really happy to be back personally, but that's fine.
That's fine.
I've been wanting to do this for
At
a long
least
time.
someone is.
Yeah, we got a lot to get into, so I kind of just want to
Okay.
jump right in.
Let's
to the
do it.
first,
Let's
first
jump.
thing.
Please.
Like I said, a lot has happened in the last 6 weeks. The big one that I'd say has happened, NBA Finals came and went.
Wow. That feels like forever ago.
I
now.
know.
Yeah,
Well, like
it
I said,
kinda
a lot's
was.
happened.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder,
Yay.
Good job,
the new
OKC.
NBA champions.
Rip
Well,
Halliburton.
well deserved. Well deserved.
R.I.P. Halliburton. Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. I do
Tyrese.
feel like if Halliburton didn't leave the game,
Yeah.
or if he didn't
He
get hurt, I really
was-
feel like the Pacers might have won.
I agree.
On fire.
I agree.
He had 14 points.
He
I
led
think, before
the
he got hurt,
led
right?
the game in 3-pointers made the whole game, and he only played what
a quarter and a half.
A quarter and a
Yeah.
half. So he was on fire. He was
He was
showing
on
up
fire.
to be a legacy game, and then he tore his
Yeah.
Achilles, unfortunately.
It's very. It's hard because you're happy for the Thunder because I don't know if they've ever won a championship before, but there's if all I'm saying is if I was SGA or Jalen Williams or any of those guys or Chet Holmgren, I would kind of feel a little bittersweet. We won, but we won because the star player that was kind of killing it for the other team got hurt. I
Yeah.
would feel like I would want to do it again next year to prove that, hey, it doesn't matter. We deserve that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. That's
I don't
just
know
what
if
would
that...
be going through my mind a little bit, but
I feel like you've worked all season though to get to that spot, so I feel like it's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
to be
And you beat them when he played whole
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like...
And I feel like obviously they didn't have a super easy path in the West playoffs.
no, the Western.
So, I feel
Conference is
like-
tough.
I don't know. I really do feel like it doesn't. I don't know. They should still feel proud because
Yeah,
Oh,
of what they
absolutely.
accomplished.
Totally.
They were
I'm
the
just
best
saying
team in the
there would
regular
be just
season.
a little bit of a bit of a weird taste in my
yeah,
mouth.
but
with
it doesn't
is all
matter.
I'm saying. Maybe it's just
I don't know. Maybe.
They won.
Yeah, good job
still,
for them.
Still happy for
I
them
would
though.
agree.
I'm happy. SGA. That's such a cool season for him. Is he won MVP,
Yeah.
Finals MVP, and got the ring.
Yeah.
And
So-
he's the 2K26 cover athlete
Is he
Is he
really?
really?
Did they announce that?
today, I think. Yeah.
Did you see, speaking of not SGA, but Tyrese Halliburton, that he's out for next season?
Yeah, all of
They-
next
Oh
season.
man.
all
Yeah, the
of it.
Pacers team is going to have to rebuild.
Dude, no Miles Turner, no Halliburton.
Yeah, Benedict Mathurin's probably going to have an insane year, hopefully.
Feels like the year they lost
Maybe.
Paul George and Reggie Miller and all those guys
Man.
from.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but
Yeah.
In the same season, they lost Paul
No.
George and
Well, no,
Reggie
just
Miller.
over time, they just lost their foundational
Yeah.
pieces, and then this, especially
we'll
Paul
see.
George.
We'll see what happens.
I feel like
Yeah.
the Pacers do have a really bad history of
yeah.
Achilles injuries with Paul George and
Man.
Tyrese. Oh, dude, yeah, Paul George. Pacers
bummer.
Paul George was
Yeah,
probably my favorite player of all time.
What?
Yeah,
he said this before on the podcast.
yeah.
He's said
Pacers
this
Paul
before.
George is probably my favorite player of all time
Why?
because he was so good on offense. He had a great shot. It was so smooth, but also his defense was so great. He was a great two-way player. And he still
was. That's
was.
That's why he shouldn't be in the conversation.
Well, he's my favorite player.
So
It's not I don't think he's the best. I think he's my favorite.
okay, I'll give you that.
That's fine.
That's what I
don't
said.
think-
He's my
He's
favorite.
not trying to say
Pacers
he's
Paul George is
LeBron.
my
I
favorite
think
player.
you need a better favorite.
I think you need better ideas.
Dad, your favorite person
Your
in the
favorite
your favorite player
person
in the
was
NBA.
Bob Cousy.
No, your favorite player in the NBA
Rightfully
is a
so.
player that is one of the most hated players in the NBA.
Who?
Not by us, but LeBron. LeBron is
He's not my favorite player in the NBA.
Who's your favorite player in the NBA?
I don't have one.
It's not Mobley.
It's LeBron. So we get
It's what?
It's not Mobley.
No.
Mobley.
No, I
Mobley?
don't really have a favorite player in the NBA.
That's probably because you're a team guy.
Yeah, you guys
Well-
are this new generation where you don't even have favorite teams. You just have
I
favorite
have a favorite
players.
team.
No. When it comes to the NBA, yes.
But you have a favorite player over your favorite team.
That's
Like
not
you
true.
follow the player more than the team.
That is not true.
100%.
Not in the NBA.
I would say
I
yes.
don't-
Not
For
in the
me
NBA. Okay.
Okay.
Meaning like, but in other sports, yes.
Well, because I don't care about other sports as much. I don't really care about any other sport other than basketball and football, to be honest.
Yeah.
So would
and
you?
F1.
So okay. Favorite players: Paul George still.
No.
Okay.
My favorite
Favorite
player right
current
now is probably Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. So
Solid.
if Donovan Mitchell left the Cavs, would you no longer be a Cavs fan and Donovan Mitchell's new team?
I was a Cavs fan before Donovan Mitchell even went to the Cavs.
Okay. Is this kind of like the Bengals, Browns, Bengals thing?
No, this is different.
Interesting.
Because I was with the Cavs
I
in
just
their
want to point
lowest
out
of
Dad
lows.
brought up the Bengals in the conversation first.
Yeah,
I'm just bringing that up.
You're welcome.
I was there when they won the 2016 chip and you took your shirt off and streaked through our neighborhood.
He did not streak.
I didn't
Let's be
streak, but I
careful.
did.
For a
No, no, no,
pastor
no.
taking off your shirt and running through the neighborhood is basically streaking.
For a Baptist church, that is
Yeah.
basically
I didn't
sacrilegious.
streak for one, but I did take off my shirt, run in my yard, screaming after midnight that the Cavs had won the
Okay.
championship.
I would probably do something similar if the Bengals
I did do
won the
that.
Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
And we have Lonzo Ball now, who was also, I really like Lonzo, so I was really excited about.
You're finding every reason to talk about
Lonzo's
Lonzo.
such a good-
He's just
He's-
out all the time, though.
But
Like,
when he
I know.
plays, he's electric.
Yes.
And he
when he
has.
plays for the 2 minutes that he's in for the whole season.
And hold on, and
make those 2 minutes in the finals, and
he
in Game
will be
7 of
more
the finals.
motivated to play now because
I agree with
he
that.
is on a contending team.
True.
He said that this year is either championship or bust.
Okay.
So he knows what this year is
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
He's on the same page. And he just can do everything. He doesn't need to score 20 points a game. He just likes to win, and he will do whatever needs to be done in order to win.
Okay. I that's great.
He's a
I think
great
it's a good
floor
move.
general.
I think
and he's big. He's like a big guard. and
That's
we need
been
that.
our Achilles heel. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
my
where's
bad.
the, where's the
Yeah, sorry.
wah, wah.
Yeah, sorry. Let me.
Yeah,
bad.
bad.
So yeah,
Too
sorry.
soon, Dad.
Too
Too
soon.
soon.
But
Too soon.
Damian Lillard, Tyrese
that was
Halliburton.
our
Kyrie Irving.
nemesis in
No, it's
the
ACL, sorry.
in the finals or in the playoffs. Was that our guards were just too short, too small.
Yep.
Like Halliburton destroyed us. Some of those other guys destroyed us. We just couldn't defend him.
Yeah, Garland is really good on offense, but he really
He's
suffers
not
on
a very good
defense.
defender. Yeah. So anyway, okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think because there have been a lot of off-season NBA stuff. Big one, Kevin Durant to the Rockets is huge. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
a big,
huge.
big thing to kind of know. I just think the thing that the Rockets had going for them was their defense. I will be interested to see how that balance shifts. They were more of a defensive-minded
Okay,
team.
but they gave up Jalen Green, who was not
and Dylan
defense.
Brooks. And Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, but Dylan Brooks is more
Dylan
like
Brooks is a
your
punk, but he's a
off
good
the
defender.
bench, six-man guy.
Sure.
I think for what they gave up, I mean, it was not. I think they definitely improved as a team.
I'm not saying they shouldn't have
And-
done it. I'm just saying it'll be
And
interesting.
they were
to
right in
see
the
their-
mix last year too.
Exactly,
Yes, they
and
were.
I think
they were like
I
top 3 in the West.
I think Jalen Green is a very good player, but I do think that he kind of was on a bad contract because he wasn't like that elite, like top 10
that they were paying
guard
him for.
in the league player that they're paying him.
Yeah.
Which, again, I really like him, and I think he is very good, but he's very inconsistent.
Mhm.
So I think to get off his contract a little bit, and then I feel like they didn't really give up too much.
Yeah.
for him.
Not really. I agree with you. Man, you get the elite scorer in
Yeah.
Durant, which is what your issue was during
Yeah.
the playoffs,
People call
especially.
me Kevin Durant.
And then we hit him backstage after this because we didn't like him.
Yeah, no,
I'm actually
not-
horrible
yeah.
at basketball.
Um.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think, I think it's the best move of the offseason and getting
Absolutely.
Durant, and because they were so
Yeah.
close, honestly, to getting to that next round.
Now you have like one of the greatest
And
scorers of all time.
they kept
Yeah, they kept the
Sengun,
courting. Yeah,
they
yeah.
kept Jabari Smith.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, who else did they? Who else was it that they?
I don't
Van
know.
Vliet.
Van Vliet
Yes,
they kept.
I did. Yes.
Yep.
I do
So
like.
I
Van
feel
Vliet.
like
I
they
like him.
really didn't
He's
give
great for
up as
Toronto.
much as I feel like they could have given up.
Yes.
Yep. Agreed.
So
Yeah.
Big fan.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the NBA.
yeah.
But I did want to talk about the NBA for a little bit, but like I said, we have a lot to get into, so I want to shift gears here.
Let's do it.
Forever ago,
Ooh.
we have been putting up questions on our Instagram
Really?
and
Have
opening,
we?
opening the floor up to questions.
I didn't know anything about this.
Shut
Really?
up. You know good and well. You know good and well. Anyways,
You're probably the only one who
here's
answered
what's
the
gonna
question.
happen. No, actually. So over the course of the
There's
show,
a reason
not,
we always only
not
have
just-
3 views on our videos.
Yeah.
not just on the Instagram, but like I've had people text me, like listeners of the show, like family, like we've had cousins and friends, like
They all go to another school.
text in or ask questions. That I was like, oh, we should add this to the mix. So we're pulling questions from there, pulling
Okay.
questions from DMs, pulling
Okay.
questions from, maybe we should start pulling in questions from comments on the YouTube videos.
Whoa, let's do it.
Why we should
Ask a
because
question in
then
the
they'd have
comments.
no reason to comment. Comment on the YouTube video, ask a question, like the video, smash that subscribe button, and
Tell us we're pretty.
that too.
Yeah.
We need it. Anyway, let's go. anyway,
What's the first question?
so
Are we pretty?
I'm going to
No.
to say
Move on.
I'm going to say the question and I'm going to say who sent in the question.
Ooh, okay. Get a
Oh.
shout out. Yeah.
If-
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Anonymous.
Oh.
And I also want to give a shout out. Our first question that I think we had submitted to us, or that I had someone ask me to do, was a few segments ago when Jared, our friend Jared,
Yeah,
Jared, the man who can do everything.
Jared, yes, the most interesting man in the world. Our friend Ravi submitted that keep to cut one question.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we use that, and so this is a nice little episode.
Okay.
We get to integrate a little bit more things like that. So
Okay.
the first question, this one comes from me and Luke's good cousin and Dad's nephew, Andrew Baker.
Andrew.
Andy boy.
Thanks for watching the show and listening, Andrew. We love you.
Yeah.
Andrew asks,
We
and
know
this is one of the first questions I think I ever remember getting, and he texted me this.
Okay.
I'm tweaked it a little bit, but is
Okay.
VR beneficial or a detriment to players' development or in sports in general?
VR?
VR, like virtual assist, like VAR, like virtual assisted replay, or just virtual reality in general.
I think
And
it's,
I have thoughts on this, but I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. And remember, we have a lot of questions, so we got to kind of keep it relatively
keep it
quick.
snappy,
Yeah, keep it snappy.
Dad.
I don't think I like VR, and like we're talking like soccer or whatever. Like
Yes.
with that, I like the addition of it.
Yeah.
Because especially the way they do it, I don't feel like sometimes it doesn't take as long. When I think of like the instant replay, it's not instant at all in the NFL.
It's like the really long.
Yeah.
It's the
replay.
really long replay. But a lot of times I feel like in soccer they can go to, and they get it real quick. I just saw what was it, the U.S. match versus Mexico, and they were
they
checking
win
to
that?
see if
Nope.
No, they didn't. They were checking to
sad.
some, and it didn't take that long. But it was an important call to make and make sure that you
Yes.
get the right one. So especially in something like that, and so I'm for it in those, like in that setting. I guess it depends on what it's used for.
Yeah.
In some ways, like I think some athletes I know use it for like training or whatever.
I will make a point about
Well,
that.
You know what I
It's
mean?
big here soon.
I don't know. I don't technically know if this is VR. Like are we counting like simulation stuff? Something like F1. Like
Yeah.
they have like their simulations. Does that count as like the VR that you're talking
I
about?
don't
or no?
know.
I would think it would. Why
Because I
wouldn't it?
think that's super beneficial. And I think
Sure.
that's like a great way, I think, to learn, I don't know, like practice new things and without like the fear of, especially when you're in a car, like there's always a danger of if I try this new thing, I might like run into somebody or like flip my car
Yeah.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good to have like a space where you can do that and kind of like, I don't know, try new things out. And I think too,
Sure.
just with VR in general and other sports, I mean, I just look at these athletes. I think we're seeing like better and better athletes as time goes on, and I only think it's just because of the technology and
Mm-hmm.
how a lot of people have access to things that you know
Yeah. Okay.
they
so-
didn't have. So I think VR and like VAR allows, I don't know, a new perspective on things, a new way to look at it. And again, just the freedom to try things without, I don't know, the dangers or the consequences of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm trying to think of an instance though where I don't think I would be for it. Like in baseball, replacing the umpire behind home plate.
Why haven't we done that?
With something.
I mean, people.
No, I don't think I would be for that.
Yeah. I'm saying I don't know why we haven't done that
Yeah,
yet.
right. I don't think I would be for. I think that's such a human element part of the game.
Yeah.
That to remove that changes just the enjoyment of the game itself. So for me, like I would struggle because I think in some ways the strike zone, and I don't know squat about baseball. I mean, I know a little bit, but not a ton.
The only word he knows is strike zone.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just saying, like,
Buzzword.
the strike zone can
called?
be subjective, anyways.
Yeah.
Based upon the ump, and I think that plays into how the game is, and I mean it's supposed to be like whatever, there is a typical strike
even
zone.
In like basketball too, I guess there's a way of like if there's a guy that's like not calling a lot of things, you can play harder, But if they are, then you have to kind of play a certain way.
And I like
think
that.
It kind of
like
changes.
in the playoffs, like there were things that they just let go. Where in a regular game, regular season game, they would have called it or whatever.
Yeah,
they were
kind of like a let him play mindset.
Kind of, and I kind of like that because then you as a player have to adjust.
Yeah.
But when it's a call like was this a basket or not a basket, kind of a thing where it could potentially change the outcome of the game. Like, is that a handball in the box or not? Is that a penalty in the box or not? Is that, did that, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
A scoring play or whatever. I get that. I just feel like sometimes, especially in the NFL and even more so in the NBA now, sometimes it just takes forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, how
But they
can you
don't
not get
But they
this?
don't use VAR in
Yeah.
every
thing
instance. And I feel like so I'd like to because we got to move on to the next question. But I want to give my thoughts on this real quick. So two points. Number one, I think the amount of calls that the refs have been getting wrong lately, especially in the NFL, that a lot of people like you can see on the screens like that's clearly not a foul. The refs don't. I feel like if people used VAR more in those situations, might help them get the right call. It would be interesting to see how much more time it would add to the game. I don't know how much
time.
Yes,
before I forget
but
this,
they would maybe get the calls right more frequently.
I don't know if you heard about this. Do you see that the NFL is investigating 3 refs for rigging games for the Chiefs?
I did hear
Really?
that.
Yeah.
Wait, is this recent?
Yeah.
I did hear a couple got relegated to college.
See,
Yeah, they're investigating
yeah.
it because I guess they found that they were, I don't know, something.
Can I talk to real quick into your point, real quick?
Okay, yeah.
I agree with you, but I think but those have to be so limited on what the VAR calls are. Like I just think
You don't have to use it for every foul.
No,
but
you can't. That would extend
like,
the
what
game
about
crazily.
like Luke brought this up? First downs, like where the ball is, like for first down. I think that's an instance where it'd be helpful. I think also like goal. Think about the amount of goal line like 1 yard scrambles you have. Did the ball get across the line? I think that would also maybe maybe in instances where did he get his foot down, but you can't really get a good angle. VAR might be very helpful with that. Like
I don't get why we can't just put like a sensor in the ball. I mean, with
might
technology,
change the weight of it, but
no way. There's no way.
If it's
you put it
microscopic,
inside the ball, and then you have a sensors for
Yeah,
first
that's
downs,
true.
touchdowns,
I could see that.
where the ball is
I'd be-
spotted.
I could
you'd
be-
have to put it. You'd have
so
to put
much
it
things.
at the ends of the ball, though. To
but
figure
doesn't
out
that change it? Like,
Yeah,
okay, this
but that's fine.
but in some ways,
Who
though,
cares? I don't care
if
about
it gets
that.
the call right.
Who cares? I want the game played the right way. I don't
want- but
care.
the right-
especially
okay.
just in the
the
recent
right
years,
way
man.
is the call correct or not?
Yeah, I agree
hate-
with that.
What I hate the most is like sports fans complain about every little thing and they're like, "Oh, that wasn't a foul." Blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah,
okay,
blah.
okay.
But if we get rid
Luke
of
sounds
all
like
that,
a caveman.
we get rid of all that and we just automated. Like, they can't complain. Like, shut up. Your team lost. You're bad.
It also eliminates the idea. I hate when teams lose because of a bad
I know,
call.
okay.
That's the worst
I
feeling.
know we need to move on. Yeah, I would argue. I don't disagree with you, but I would.
You are disagreeing with me then by saying a but.
we gotta
It's just literally
hurry.
how that works.
We spent 10 minutes on the
think-
first question. We have
I
a lot
think
of questions
that
to get through.
Isn't that part of the game though? The tension and the
No!
conflict of like arguing.
The game is
and-
the game is the game.
The game is the
should
people.
be-
but it
the
takes
game
away
is-
the beauty if
No.
you can't.
It
No,
has
it's
to
the
be.
What? No. Are you
What
kidding me?
beauty?
I don't.
Stop.
There's no beauty to the refs getting the call wrong. And
How
me,
is it
and
beautiful?
me, as a fan, being like, Listen, gives me flashbacks to AFC Championship all over again. There's nothing. Or
Look what you're
Josh
doing to
Allen,
him.
Or Josh
Look at
Allen.
him.
I know, I love it.
Tell that to every Bills fan who saw that ball cross that first down marker this year in AFC Championship game and they didn't get it.
Listen,
every single fan who saw it, any fan who is not a fan of the Chiefs would love to have VAR in that instance.
I agree. No, I want it to be right. I want the call to always
you don't.
Stop.
You're saying yet.
No, I'm trying to play a little devil's advocate here, where I do want the call to be right. But there is something fascinating, like seeing you guys get passionate. Like now we lose some of that because now you're arguing.
Listen, Dad, I get passionate about how stupid.
What do you mean?
Dad, listen, I get passionate about how stupid my owners are in the offseason.
Go.
I don't need
Next
to get,
question.
Okay,
Go.
That's a ridiculous
the only
take.
2 quick points I will make to support VAR.
I just want these to be
volleyball.
played
Listen,
the right
volleyball
way.
uses VAR to watch like where the ball hits, and it's been so helpful. So I'm a fan of it there. Also, Jaden Daniels used VR to train in the offseason, and
great.
he looked insane. So I do not want to I think
good looking.
I do think it. Okay,
stop.
He listen. All I'm saying is the system is clearly working for him. If he can come out and
wait. The jury's still out on that.
You know, sophomore slump could happen, but as of right now,
you know what that
his
meant?
training program.
What is a sophomore?
Sophomore slump.
Stop.
Dude.
No, let's go.
What about
all I'm saying is there's player evidence and game evidence to support, in my opinion, that I think there's enough to where, yes, it should stay integrated. Anyway, next question.
Okay, good job. Wow, that was good.
Next question. Does Grant have a belly or abs?
Do you want to show them?
No.
No.
This is a question submitted from your son.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
I would say
you did.
belly
Show the
or
camera.
abs. I would say you have babs.
Show the camera
My
and they'll
belly?
decide.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
No.
I can answer that. So
I'll show my belly.
I would say I have I don't have abs. I would say I have a flat stomach.
I wouldn't.
But
say
the question is, does
do you
Grant have a belly or abs? So you have to go belly.
It's probably closer to belly than abs.
We have to decide. Then lift up your shirt and we'll decide. Why not?
No.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
No. All right, next question.
Okay, next episode. Will Caleb Williams next episode? Next question. Will Caleb Williams be the first Bears passer to break 4,000 yards? I think yes.
Yeah.
I think he will.
I can't imagine him.
I think if he
this
doesn't,
season.
I think if he doesn't,
I agree.
if he doesn't do it either this year or next year, he is not the guy. I do not think.
I don't know about that. What if he gets like 3,940 and has like 30 touchdowns and
he's
0
being
interceptions?
given so the Bears are actually doing so much to build around him this year.
Well, with his new head coach, I think
offensive line, they revamped their offensive line.
I can see it happening.
They drafted Luther Burden as well.
Yeah,
I've heard
true.
I've heard he's been.
What about
the
run game? Who they have?
DeAndre
Swift. I think he's underrated.
And he's great in the passing game
yeah,
too.
that's a good running back.
Yeah,
so
I could see it happening.
I do think
Agreed.
he will be.
Agreed.
Next question.
Yeah.
This one comes from
who threw that question out? Do we know? Did you
Luke,
say?
again.
Luke.
Probably shouldn't name all these because they might just be me.
A lot of them are Luke.
Say anonymous, and we know what that means.
All right. Next question. This one comes from a follower, Jay Sten submitted this question.
Jay, what's up, Jay? Give you a shout out, Jay.
Absolutely. Jay Sten asked, do you think will Ohio State beat Michigan in football? I assume he's referring
Eventually,
to this year.
yes, they have to.
Yes.
Well, let's keep it. Do you think they will do it this year?
Yes.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Ryan Day is statistically horrible
I don't
against
care.
Michigan.
It's happening.
It will
I would
happen.
love for them to do it, and I hope they do it. And everything points to the fact that Ohio State should beat Michigan.
We have Jeremiah Smith. He's our entire
That
offense.
happened. Luke, they had him last year, and they still lost.
But
All
he's
I'm
better
saying.
now. Trust.
Okay. Jay Sten also submitted the next question.
Ooh, Jay, another one.
He says, please talk NASCAR. All I know about NASCAR is Jeff Gordon.
Ooh,
Wow,
NASCAR.
that's
Jeff
old.
Gordon was great.
I do watch a little NASCAR when there's nothing else on.
How?
I don't know.
To fall
I
asleep
just,
to
I
it?
just do it.
Better than baseball, am I right?
I don't know, like hardly anything. Like Austin Dillon, I know
Please.
he's out there.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
What?
Five me.
Oh,
Isn't
sorry.
yeah, I can't
Anyway,
name a single NASCAR.
I don't
guy.
know. Yeah.
All right. This
We talked about it.
Sorry, Jay.
Thank you for the question, Jay.
these next few questions come from Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous. Luke.
What's
I don't know who the guy is.
what's the worst night of your life?
Oh, man.
I don't
don't
think
know.
I have one.
I can think of a couple.
I don't know. The worst night of my life?
When I had food poisoning,
Oh,
After
that
I
was
was
bad.
That
That
was
was bad.
miserable.
That
I
was awful.
legitimately thought I was dying. It was so painful. It was just throw up everywhere.
Gross.
Yeah, it was bad. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I will. That will definitely be. That is my.
I can think of one for Grant.
Well,
but I won't
that's
say it.
one option. That's one option.
Really?
But the other one I think is worse because of the lack of access that I had during it. So
Okay.
Dad's referring to a different instance where I ate too much bad caffeine and it messed up my stomach, and so we had to make 30 stops on the way to
dude.
North
I would
Carolina.
just like to say that Grant has the
bowels that are made of bowels are
Vesuvius.
made of Listerine strips.
Yeah.
They're very fragile. Anyway, all that being said,
Okay.
I went to Passion Conference in
What is
2020.
Listerine?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think this might have been worse because I did get food poisoning from Chipotle, and then I started to kind of feel a little weird, but we got on the bus to head over to the stadium from where we were staying, and I get there, and I'm still kind of feeling kind of funky, and we walk over, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, all of a sudden, the food poisoning gets in. And long story short, I need to find a bathroom really bad. Unfortunately,
The sound his bowels made after he let loose.
they were crying.
No, he's looking for right now. He's looking for a bathroom
How is this looking for a bathroom?
Because they're
He's
I
in
don't
the
know.
He's in the woods.
No, I'm not. I'm in the city, and it's awful. And so here's the problem. So
The city
the
is
problem
the
is
people's
we
woods.
are the problem is we are outside the stadium, and I really got to use the restroom, and I know it's not normal. We're talking really bad food poisoning. So problem is I don't have to throw up. If I had to throw up, I could have gone over the side of this ledge and thrown up onto the sidewalk.
Nice.
There was
Wouldn't be the
this-
first time.
I would have preferred that. I really would have.
Question.
Instead, I had to wait to use the restroom till we got into the stadium. I had to wait in line for an hour, and then I was in the fetal position for an hour, trying not to die and explode until I finally, the gate opened, I ran in, used
Figuratively speaking.
And literally speaking.
yeah, and then I
Demon
had
portal was
bad.
Oh, my word.
gosh.
Okay.
But anyway, so I got in.
That was a demon portal for sure.
Dude, it was
No
bad.
kidding.
But I finally got in, and I'm
opened one
honestly
with
I'm honestly kind of impressed with myself. I held it that long, but it
That
was
is
bad.
impressive.
It was very bad. I felt horrible, and I just remember how it was genuine pain. Because it's food
Yeah.
poisoning. It's not it's genuine
it's-
pain.
yeah.
It's
Dude,
like you're
food
being
poisoning,
stabbed.
yeah.
It's horrible.
It's awful.
It's so bad because
Yeah.
it's not just bad food. Oh yeah, I ate too much. It's literally
Yeah.
no. Your body's rejecting what you just ate.
It's
You
like,
need-
I feel uncomfy. I feel nauseous. It's like
I did feel
I mean,
uncomfortable
yeah,
and nauseous,
but it's
but it was
like you literally feel like you've been stabbed multiple times with
and
a knife.
I'm literally stuck. I can't go find a bathroom.
That's
I
just
can't.
awful.
It's terrible. It was horrible, and that was one of the worst nights of my entire life. Definitely a top three horrible
Top three
experience. Oh, so bad.
Yeah. So,
What was for you?
well,
an amazing weekend
I
after
could
that, though.
totally turn this serious.
When you lit the church on fire?
No, I never lit the church on fire.
Allegedly.
Lit a church on fire.
Luke,
no,
stop,
never.
Stop telling people.
So I
true
could get
facts about what that
super
is.
serious, and which would totally turn this.
Would it be when
Direction.
you got home late and your
No,
dad
no,
was like-
or I could just keep it on illness, sickness, whatever.
oh
But what? No.
No.
So
No.
worst night of my life.
Just pick
Well, I
one
don't
and go
know
with
if this
it.
is the worst. Well, it's not the worst. I'm sure there's worsts out there.
was it the time I got food poisoning?
Was it the time
No.
Luke was born?
Oh,
No comment.
Oh.
So I would be like,
that's brutal.
so when
The time they find out they were pregnant with me.
okay,
Another
All
one?
right, Luke got it. Luke guessed it.
You submitted.
Thanks for stealing my thunder, Luke.
Luke really dug his own grave with
Were you
that
actually
question.
gonna say that?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say that. So, what's that?
Were you actually gonna?
I was gonna cry if it
just
was.
just a very real moment of Luke being like, "Wait, were you actually
I
gonna
know
say that?
the look on his face. Really?
Wait, seriously?
No.
I
Why?
joke about it, but there's some truth that I think it might be true.
No.
Okay.
So,
what's actually the worst night of your life?
Well, one of the worst, I would say.
It's me.
No, was
Luke is everyone's
when
worst
I had
He's a menace.
when I had chicken pox as an adult.
Oh,
Dude, that was those were several worst nights of my life, and just it was miserable. It was
Oh, that sounds
misery,
terrible.
and I couldn't do anything. Like all the urgent cares were closed or whatever.
oh no!
It was like on the weekend.
Was it on the weekend?
It was on a weekend.
Oh,
so I couldn't
gosh.
do anything about it. It was horrible.
Yikes.
That was so. Even thinking about it was just because they
Yikes.
always say like getting it as it was horrible. It was
I'm
was
sorry.
one of the worst.
Did
I don't ever think I got it.
I feel like Grant got chickenpox, didn't he, when he was really little?
I got the vaccine for it very early to prevent it, and
Yeah.
I've never gotten it since. I don't think I've ever gotten
Did he ever?
I don't know. I feel like you did.
I feel like he did. I don't think I got it though.
I will say, if I
don't
have
know.
to have chicken pox, having it like when I'm so little that I won't remember
Oh,
it,
100%.
that's the
Yeah.
best. That's
Dude,
what
I
I'm
can vouch
so
for
I
that.
am so grateful for the times like as a kid that I don't remember that I got sick, because as an adult I don't have to remember it, and I'm very grateful for that.
All right, go.
Okay, next question. Oh gosh, Luke, come on.
You don't have to say. I didn't even-
Anonymous asks, "What's the lowest amount of money you would take to kick a baby?"
What?
Yeah.
None.
There's no way.
Never.
There is an
If someone
amount. It's
offers
a
you
high amount, but it's
A
there's an
bajillion
amount.
dollars to kick a baby.
No way.
I'm doing it for like $4 million.
Looks like through the uprights.
honestly,
Dude, that's so bad.
Realistically, I
No
would
way.
probably do it for like $100K. Like line that puppy up.
It's not a puppy. It's a baby.
That too.
You're right. A puppy would be
That
worse.
too.
I'm just. I'm kidding.
Listen, it's like the chickenpox thing. Just they're so young they won't even remember it. And
Oh, my
you're right.
word.
And I'll
You're
kick
right.
them hard enough, they definitely won't remember it.
Luke
I was about
Jones.
to say.
Move on to the next one. I can't even stomach
What is
that.
it? What is
Horrible.
it?
It's.
I
it's
can't
a
even
joke.
stomach
It's a
that.
joke. It would have to be a lot of money. I think.
Guys,
listen,
I am so sorry.
No,
Like,
I just. Listen,
to our viewers, to our listeners, I am
Viewers,
absolutely.
comment below. What's the lowest amount
No,
of money
stop.
you would take
No.
to kick a baby?
Guys, I can't
Post a
believe
number.
this.
Well, no, we don't have to say
Go,
what
Grant,
about.
what's the
just
next
post
one?
a number.
we are 100% clipping this moment. and
What's the
posting it
next
on
one?
Instagram. This is definitely getting clipped. The next.
Clip it and ship it.
The next, do you think Chicago's new pope will help the Bears win a Super Bowl?
Oh,
You better. Oh wait, I feel
You
like-
asked this
Yeah,
one too.
you better. That's like their
I
only
don't know.
hope.
They're literally trying everything to help
I
Caleb
know.
Williams get a Super Bowl.
He's been trained since birth
well,
to be the next
I would say
pope.
no because he was a White Sox fan. What have they done for him lately?
What is that? A baseball team?
Yes, exactly.
I don't know many baseball teams.
Luke's
so
over here
that's not
thinking,
really-
I actually look pretty good in White Sox. Did
Yeah,
Chicago invent
exactly.
those?
I'm wearing
Those are
Black
pretty
Sox.
I'm pretty
today,
sure he's a
but-
White Sox fan.
good.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, next.
What's the answer? Yes or no?
No,
No. Okay. What's your answer?
based upon his past record.
For that reason, no. It'll be because of a revamped team and a head coach.
What if he was
Number 9.
okay.
What's the most pain you've ever been in?
That's a good
I
question.
honestly could think. I mean,
That's
I
a
might
good
actually
question.
say the exact same thing as I just said. I'm sure there's another
Most
one in there,
pain?
but I will say for now it's the same story I said as what was the earlier question? The worst night of your
Mine
life.
might
I would
be
say
the
it's probably the
same,
same.
yeah.
It was
yeah,
that was a horrible experience.
Mhm.
Food poisoning sucks, man.
Really,
it does.
really
It
bad.
really is bad.
Don't get food poisoning, kids.
Don't do it.
Avoid all red meat.
Yeah,
Actually, no, mine was chicken.
cook it first,
Don't go to Chipotle in Alexandria Pike because I got
dude. I've been there multiple
Don't go
times.
to-
I'm
I
totally fine.
got food poisoning twice in the same week.
Don't
because
go
of them.
to the mall. There's a mall in Atlanta that I got Chipotle from. Don't go
Dude,
to it.
Oh,
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
Dude,
what's your worst?
Well, I've gotten Chipotle a lot lately because my friends have been blessing me
Oh,
with so many
actually,
gift cards that I've been I've been fine.
I have an answer to this
What?
actually.
What?
Worst night
This
of your-
is not
or
a
most
real.
pain?
Well, this is probably not the most bad I've been in, but today actually, I'm leaving work
Okay.
and I don't know
You
why.
get hit by a car.
I wish. I'm putting my backpack. I put my backpack
You
in the
get hit by
passenger
that guy in the
seat.
tricycle.
Yeah.
From,
I put my, my water bottle in, and I don't know why, but I have my hand, like on the top, like the door's open,
no.
like between like the top
You
of the
didn't.
car and where you enter in on the driver's side.
Yeah.
I close
Oh.
the door on my hand. It shut. Like I hear the door click shut.
Bro.
So my hand is just sticking out there, waving to everybody. Hello. I'm just silent. I'm like kind of impressed with myself, honestly.
goodness.
And then I open it and I'm like looking to it's like the point where like, am I in shock that I don't know that I broke my
Yeah.
hand, or like is everything really fine? And yeah, everything's really fine.
Luke's like
That's
missing
good.
3 fingers.
So okay.
Everything's
So
fine.
But that's happened today. I just wanted to.
sorry.
let
Are you
know
okay?
I think so.
You're here. That's good.
Yeah, I was
Physically, he's
genuinely
fine.
like,
Emotionally,
Yeah.
he's scarred.
I was very concerned, and then like I like was literally like stopped feeling pain within like 15 minutes, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
strong
I'm glad you're okay.
bones.
So
Most
I would
pain-
say most pain is probably the food poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Oh
that
my
went
God.
on
We
for like
went-
2 days.
Well, we
dude.
went to the hospital because we thought
a
I had
couple times
appendicitis.
I thought.
I-
yeah,
once.
that's right. That's
I
right.
I thought my
genuinely-
kidney was exploding.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
So-
not gonna lie. When that happened,
Kindicitis.
I like, because you're like, how old are you in this? 21, like 20, like you're older. Like you're definitely like a full grown adult at this. Well, maybe not full grown, but you're a full grown adult.
I'm not convinced I'm
I don't know
a
if
full
Luke
grown
is
adult
still
now.
full grown.
He is
Oh,
adult.
so hold on, podcast. I was telling my family this, but like when I was younger, like in high school, middle school, everyone would always be like, "Oh my word, like you're so mature for your age. Like you're wise beyond your years."
Ha.
I'm gonna tell you, I haven't heard that phrase said to me in like 3 years. So I think I have officially, I'm at
Regressed?
the maturity that I was when I was like middle school and high school.
I can vouch for
Or
that.
he's regressed.
Agree. 100%.
So I
Hundo P.
think Luke was at that point. I forget how
What are we
old
talking
you were,
about?
but you were an adult age
It was.
And
I
your
know
food
exactly
poisoning.
when it was. It was the Bengals 2021 playoff run.
when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay, so you were 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you were
18.
20. You were 20.
Pretty sure I was 12.
You were 20. You were 20 during that time. So Luke was 20, and I just remember like I could like hear you in pain in the other.
Like
It
that?
sounded like a donkey, but anyway, it was awful.
Scroll
and I,
back to
like-
what he said like 30 seconds ago about himself.
Hold on, like I'm being very real for a second. Like I was genuinely
I closed the door
scared
on my
for
hand.
you. Like there was a part of me like I legitimately thought you might die that night. Like it
I
was
also
bad.
thought that.
We laugh about it now, but like I remember being like terrified, and
Yeah.
like I'm texting like a bunch of friends and like mentor like guys, please pray for Luke right now because he's like in a ton of pain, and I don't know what's going on with him.
Maybe I was
and
over dramatic.
I
Slightly.
don't. Well, all I'm saying is like I was freaked. Like I genuinely thought you might die, and I was like, you need to go to the hospital.
Pass away.
I was scared. All I remember is for like if it was bad. I was at that level of fear that I was like, I
Yeah.
know it must have sucked for you if I was literally at that point. But
Okay, so I haven't shared mine.
yeah,
you guys
what's-
have been rambling on for minutes.
about Luke almost dying. What's the most
yes.
pain you've ever
Oh
been
my
in?
word. Okay, so
And let's go to the next.
one of the
question.
things that came to mind was in this summer, July of 2012, I was on a boat with several
Oh
pals.
my god! How have we not talked about this
And
yet?
so we were on the Ohio River, myself, Jody Hilscher, Matt James, Joe Aprilli, Dave Lloyd,
Carter.
Hilscher.
Wasn't Eli?
I
there
think
too?
Eli was in the boat as well.
Just a wee boy.
Chase Vandermeer, I believe. And so we were out on the Ohio River, and for whatever reason, the boat just starts. We hit something multiple times, and I was standing up, kind of holding on during while we're on the river, or whatever. We're going at decent speed, and I don't know what we hit or whatever, but we hit something, and I just go straight to the floor of the boat. And the boat just kept going like this, like up and down, like boom, and just boom,
Your belly
boom,
flopping on the
boom.
boat.
Yeah, and
multiple
man,
times.
I tell you, it just hurt. But not only did that hurt, but Matt James, who I don't know, as far as, I mean, Matt's a decent, solid dude, right? Like,
Yeah.
So found this out
He's
later.
a tough guy. 100%.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Whatever.
He's like a slightly
Sol-
more beefy Jack Black.
solid dude, and he's just solid. He's built
he's-
muscular. Anyway,
He does a lot of manual labor.
Yeah,
He's
so-
very physical, dude. Very strong guy.
anyway,
like,
so every time I was hitting the deck of the boat, Matt was hitting me on top, like sandwiching me over and over and over again.
It was like you were in paddleball.
Yeah.
And you were like,
Yeah.
bang, bang, bang.
Dude.
He's bouncing you off.
Yes.
He's dribbling
dribbling
you
you.
on the boat. With his
between the legs.
behind the back.
Euro step.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Breaking ankles.
Bro was Kyrie
really
on that
did.
boat.
breaking
Well, he did
ankles,
break my
literally.
ankle. So and it was awful. I honestly thought, like, seriously, you talk about dying, like,
Yeah.
I remember Jody Hilscher, like he broke his wrist. I mean, glass was everywhere in this boat. It was
Didn't
nasty.
it take him like weeks to get all the glass out of his arm and wrist? Like it was awful.
Yeah, and then so he had to have surgery. I broke my ankle. I broke my hip, broke my my ribs.
Two of your ribs or just one?
A couple of them. I broke my ankle. I had to have surgery on my ankle. But I'm telling that. So the ride back from then eventually things settled down and we're like. It's just obviously you can imagine just somber in the boat, and we're just blood. I mean, it's just crazy.
It looks like the scene out of
dude. It was horrifying.
Like, you guys got
I never. And then what
It was like
actually,
Dunkirk.
oh my gosh! The
what
boat
hurt
ride
worse
home.
though?
Yeah.
What hurt worse was actually not my ankle at the time, but the ribs. Just,
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, it was
Because it's
so.
it's like
every
against
time
your lung.
I took a breath or
Yeah.
I try not to laugh or
hurts
whatever.
me to
Oh,
think
it
about.
just
Which is
hurts
impossible when
so
you have me
bad.
for a son.
Yeah, most of the time. So
Luke makes
anyway,
you laugh so hard you would.
that
definitely
was a night of
die.
most pain in my. that came to my mind.
Yeah, that was a lot of pain.
I'm
So
actually
shout out to all those
really-
guys.
I'm really shocked that it took us this long to bring up that story.
Yes,
Like we really haven't talked about that in a long. Just in general,
it's
I was
been,
so mad at
it's
you.
been
It's been a long
13
time.
years.
I
almost.
was so mad at you.
Why?
he's mad at you for getting on a boat.
I didn't understand the situation, and we were at Papa and Grandma's
Oh,
house.
yeah.
True.
And all the cousins were there. It was our big family reunion. We're all getting together. We're all having a good time. And Mom is like,
We gotta go.
we got to go. And I'm saying,
I
no.
I told the guys. I said
no, we do not. You have to go.
I said
So she
to them.
left.
I said,
Dad is
don't
in the
tell
hospital.
anyone. I don't
Go
want anyone
see
to
him.
know. I
That
remember
makes
telling
it
them.
worse, though, right?
I said,
Yeah.
don't tell Andrea. The kids are all gone. They're down at her family's. We'll figure this out. I think I'll be
That'd be so
okay.
bad.
Looks like
At that point, I
I
didn't know
wasn't-
the extent of my my injuries.
Well, Mom just said, hey, I
didn't want
have
you
to
guys
go back
coming
home
back.
to your dad.
yeah.
Do you want to come with me? And I'm like, no.
yeah.
Looks like
I
I'm
didn't
having
really
a
know
ball.
what-
I don't want to come home.
I was honestly too young to really understand
No,
what
of course.
was going on.
I don't hold that against you.
And
Yeah.
Most
knowing
nights.
now, I still probably would have stayed. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Whereas
It was horrible.
I'm the opposite. Like I'm being like I'm staying, but like I'm being over dramatic and walking around listening to like emo rock music. Like my dad's in the hospital.
Trying to-
tonight will be the night my dad broke his ankle and his ribs.
From being dribbled on a boat.
Okay, next question, please.
All right, next question. We only have
kinda killed
a
it there.
couple more left.
Okay.
Oh
We're
my
doing a
gosh.
good job getting through these segments actually. So great
Okay,
job, guys.
good.
Oh, finally.
Pants Grant on the podcast. That's not
Nope.
happening.
Done. Done and done.
That was also from Luke.
I said, this is so long ago.
What in the world?
We did this
So
weeks.
dumb.
We did this
don't
weeks
remember.
before the last episode.
Okay.
I was still like 2 months old.
Whatever I
Do
was
we have
on,
any more that aren't from Luke?
Whatever.
Yes, the next two are not from
But
Luke.
you
The
have
last
one-
two are not from
Well,
Luke.
you have one for me too. Then I'm going to ask the question that I really want to ask.
Okay,
if we don't
do
ask
the
it.
next
Just
two.
ask it.
Okay. Do you think it'd be easier to raise one dog or 9 dogs?
One.
9 dogs.
Why?
Because they all would raise each other.
What?
I can't wait for you to have kids.
Dude,
And
They
you-
would all raise each other.
I can't wait for you to have kids.
That
and
doesn't even
experiment and do
deserve
the
any
dual-
answer. Can you like
They
go
would
to the
all
next
raise
one?
each-
Yeah.
I mean, they just would.
Moving on.
What in
okay.
the world?
They
This
would.
one, okay, next question.
The
Okay.
dogs would
This
raise each other.
one comes from my former coworker, my buddy Kyle Burnett.
Kyle, shout out Kyle.
Kyle, great to hear from you, man.
Yeah.
Kyle.
So he asks, was Joe Burrow a better QB before he found his fashion sense?
No.
So I would say
What does that mean?
before he found his fashion sense. I would
He
say,
always
I
had
will
fashion
say,
sense?
I don't think there's causation, but I do think there's correlation between when he started playing amazing for the Bengals and then his fashion sense also started picking up.
I would
I think
say
he's-
no. I mean, I would say. What's the question again? I want to make sure I answer it correctly.
Was Burrow a better quarterback before he found his
Yes.
fashion sense? Why?
Because he
How
has
can
a
you say
ring.
In
He has a
college?
championship
Ah.
ring.
Wait, but he had fashion sense then.
No, he didn't.
He didn't have fashion sense at Ohio State.
It was in LSU.
He
I think
has
he
a
started to get
ring
it.
before all this fashion stuff that he's been doing.
In the NCAA.
He also
So,
has
the
art.
question is-
He- well, I will say this.
He took a team of oh my gosh, I forget even the name of the guys on the offensive line because they were so bad. He took Jonah Williams to a Super Bowl.
So,
Hakeem Adeniji got to the Super Bowl, dude. That's
So?
crazy.
So did Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz did not get got hurt before he
Nick
played.
Foles has a Super Bowl ring, and Joe Burrow does not. Does that mean Nick
That
Foles
is
better
no
than
Has
Joe Burrow?
zero fashion sense.
means that Howie Roseman.
So
is an
I would say
incredible owner.
yes, he was a better
GM.
quarterback before he found his fashion sense,
Well,
based
what-
upon his championship that he won.
I think
I-
he had
I
fashion
think
sense
there's
at LSU,
correlation.
though.
I want to say he did.
I think he had fashion
I'm gonna
sense
look
at
up a picture
LSU.
of Joe Burrow.
Let's go. Next one. Come on.
Okay, whatever. This is the last question. It's a two-parter.
Ooh.
This one comes from our cousin, your nephew, Jackson Jones.
Jackson!
Sorry, it's a two-parter because Braden also submitted part of a question.
Braden!
So Jackson asks.
That was good.
That was
We're
good.
actually going to do Braden's first. So Braden says, rate Jackson's goal from the other day.
Oh,
Ooh,
that was
And
like
I
a-
saw it.
that was dope. That was good.
Dude, Jackson just went
Rate it
right
like
down
how do
the
we
line
rate it? Like how what
on a
should we
scale
rate?
of like 1 to 10. I give it an 8 or 9. Like it was pretty
Yeah,
dang
I'm
good.
giving it a 10 because
Dude,
of the
he-
circumstances.
He took the ball and just like
Yeah.
outsped
Well, give
and
the context.
outmaneuvered
I'll give it a 10.
everybody.
10.
I don't want to be like, oh, this was flawless, but it was pretty awesome. I mean, it's like
I'm
a
giving
9.5
it a 10
to 10.
because it's the best goal I've ever seen.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it was.
And I mean that with all
The
sincerity of my heart.
The man is very talented at soccer. I mean,
100%.
both of them are for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But I know Jackson's.
I would give it a
definitely
10. I
Dude,
would.
It was
9
pretty-
or 10.
9 or 10. It was
I don't know
really,
like
really
what you
good.
could have done differently to make it.
I would have to rewatch it.
Yeah,
I'm
if
sure
you
it's
rainbow
I'm sure
kicked
if
it
you're-
over the goalie, and then you could
knocked his
bicycle
teeth out.
kick it back at the goalie after you rainbow flick it, and then shoot it off the back of his head and then go in, it would get an 11.
If I remember correctly, he took the ball down the sideline, just
Yeah.
outsped the dudes following him. Then he took it more inside, and I think he out-dribbled somebody and then scored.
Yeah.
Both-
From distance.
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
Oh, totally.
It might
Yeah.
have still been in the
You might
box,
be.
but it was like from.
am.
Your
It might
memory's
have
not
still
what it
been in
used
the
to be.
box, but it was.
I don't think so.
I'd have to rewatch it to
wouldn't
be
know
sure,
for
but it
sure.
was
His
very
memory's
very
fading.
good goal. So
10.
that's the first one.
Okay.
I give it a 9.5, anywhere from a 9 to 10. I was really really good.
Yep.
I'd have to. I only say that because I haven't
Just give
seen
it a 10. What's
I'll
holding
give
it
a
back?
the
Give it a 10.
worst.
I have to be extra critical. We
Okay.
can't be perfect. No bias towards family. I'm sorry.
It's not a bias.
But
It's just the truth.
real talk, Jackson, that goal
That's
was
right.
insane. And then the last question. This one comes from Jackson.
Hello, Jackson.
Who is the favorite son?
Oh.
Easy.
It's definitely me.
How? How are you
Um,
the favorite? Tell me one way you are the favorite.
favorite son.
He married me off.
My favorite
He tried to
son
get rid of you so fast.
is the one that rises and sets every day.
Not the son of God.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah, that's my favorite son.
Yeah. He's mine too.
Caught in
Yes,
4K.
You know what?
nice.
Yep.
Caught
all
in
right.
4K.
Okay.
Jesus is
That's
always
good.
the answer.
That's right. That's right.
All
He's my
right.
I don't have a favorite. Well, I do at times.
Who's your favorite son right now?
I
It's
don't.
the
I don't know.
least
Neither.
unhinged.
No.
Yeah.
He's equally
But who do you like?
disappointed in
Who do
both
you
of us
Who
right
do you
now.
not like a little less?
Who do I not like a little less?
That is,
Tune in next episode, and I'll let you know.
Will you actually? Pinky promise.
I won't pinky promise, but
he's got to sleep on it. Anyway,
Pinky promise.
that's a good question.
as an issue.
There have been days when it has been Luke,
Can you tell?
and there have been days when it has been Grant.
Can you wait? Can you
And
give me a
which,
specific?
who has
Hold on,
had
hold
the
on.
most days?
Give a
where it's
specific. Give a specific day for when it was me, and give a specific day for when it was Grant.
Yes, actually, yeah, do that.
Specific day. I mean, the first thing that popped in my mind for each of you was, and you know this story, was when you were so mad. Your bedroom's on the second floor of our home. Luke got so angry
Are we allowed to
for
share
whatever
this?
reason,
Yeah.
and
The whole
he
church
started. He
knows,
opened.
so.
Yeah, he opened his window and started chucking stuff like stuffed animals, whatever. He was like 9 or 10.
His
I don't
whole
remember.
bedroom.
I had the heart of a lion.
His
You-
whole bedroom
whatever.
went out the
Yeah, I had
window.
the heart of a sinner is what you had. So, anyway,
Don't we all?
yes, we do. You just were expressing it very
I was just a little
demonstratively
worse.
that day. So, anyway, so that was definitely a day for Luke, and I remember just like he's just chucking stuff out the window. Like,
If you don't give a descriptive reasoning for Grant, I will be a little sad.
yeah. Well, for Grant, I remember when he was younger as well, and I don't remember what he did, but we told him to go to his room, and he kept coming out and like.
Whoa.
Just, like out of his room, he was so mad or whatever. And so I remember,
Broke rules. Must have
for
been
whatever
so
reason,
little.
so for whatever reason, like he would unlock the door and come out and just be like so mad. And so I remember standing on the other side of the door, holding it shut while he is trying to pull the door open to get out because he's so mad at us and he's so mad at the world.
Also, if you were there, what was I gonna do when I opened the door? You're there.
I don't know what I should have done. Looking back while you were pulling hard, should have let go.
Sucker! Release the door. Just oh,
how do you like me
too
now?
bad.
Take that.
Get owned, idiot! Enjoy the brain damage, son.
So anyway, those were a couple days that came to my mind.
I feel like Luke's was worse, but that's fine.
What?
Maybe not.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, okay, next question.
All right, that's actually it. That's it for,
Hey!
the first Q&A.
Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Fam Podcast.
Put some more questions in the comments.
We will definitely do that again.
Send messages. Let us know.
DM the Instagram
we actually done?
account. Put comments. No, we've got a couple more. We've got a few more things to do. But that was probably the most
Don't say the most interesting because then people.
No.
That was like the coolest thing we had.
There's two more in-depth segments, and I wanted to not
going deep on the
and so
Sports Fam
that was one of them.
Podcast. Hey, that'd be a good segment. Going deep,
What do we talk about?
like in football, like you go deep.
The ocean.
No, I don't know. Go ahead.
Anyway, we're
What
gonna move
is
on.
the deepest point in the ocean in the world? I know it.
What?
Mariana's Trench.
Are you serious?
I'm 99% sure.
Okay, go. What is
Look
it?
it up. Look it up.
We're gonna move on.
Go ahead. Next.
We're gonna move into.
If I'm right, you owe me $5.
We're gonna move
If I'm wrong, I owe you 15.
Whatever.
a very one of our most popular segments,
Okay.
and I really hope I hit the
forget
right
which-
one.
which
Is
one do I
it
do?
yellow?
This or that.
Yes, sir. This or that is back, baby. This love
this show.
So this one,
You would.
Thank you, random listener.
this one is going to be a little bit of an extended this or that. I think it's a bit of a treat because we've been gone for so long. We're going to have a more extended this or that. What are you looking up? The deepest part of the world?
The maximum known depth is 10,984 whatever's the Mariana Trench.
Oh, yeah. Your boy knows geography. Woo!
Okay.
Actually, the deepest part of the ocean is called. No, don't say it. Challenger Deep.
I also call it that, yes.
Located within. You also call it what?
I said I also call it that,
I also
yes.
call it that, yes.
The deepest part of the ocean is called Challenger Deep, located within the Mariana
We
Trench.
know where it's located.
In the Western Pacific Ocean. Okay, stop. Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that. All right, go ahead. These boys, oh my word.
too.
You guys are driving me bonkers.
I didn't. I restrained myself at the last second. Luke did not.
Okay.
Can we transition again?
Yeah. Please. This
or
or that.
So as I said, we're gonna
That's
do.
exciting.
We're gonna do. We're gonna
You're
do
not
a.
Nothing
Because-
good ever
because-
happened twice.
Hey, quiet.
Go.
Because because we have been gone for so long, we're gonna do a bit of an extended this or that.
Okay.
Will we still get out
And it's
on
one of
time?
our most popular segments. Yeah, well, for sure. We'll definitely get out on time. So, and I have a few things we can talk about in case this does take up the rest of our time, but that's okay because I feel like we've talked about some cool stuff.
I agree.
So this is this or that T. Higgins edition.
Oh my word.
Gosh. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Sports Fam Podcast. We hope you have a
Why?
great day.
And
Always
I'll tell you why. I have a
Bengals.
good
See you in
reason.
the
I have a
next
good reason.
one.
I have a good reason. So here's my reasoning.
I'm sorry,
We're
everybody.
fools
What do
to
we-
think we
what
could
do
get
we
here
keep-
without a Bengals reference.
We were fools.
Go ahead.
My God.
We were fools to think we could get away.
Anyway, so let me set the stage for this.
You don't
real
need
quick.
to.
No,
Go ahead.
I can. I promise I can. So what?
Why? I know you can.
Stop talking.
Dude, shut
For crying
up.
out loud.
Stop talking about Challenger Deep
Oh
or whatever.
my word.
And
No,
listen to-
just quiet. I might have to throw the flag on him just to be quiet so we can get through this.
I'm okay with that.
Go ahead.
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. No.
Here,
Okay.
he has
caught
to
it.
shut
You have
up.
30 seconds. Go.
Okay, so it's a minute. by the way.
Go.
That's the rule. So what do we keep hearing about T. Higgins all the time is like, oh, he's one of the best wide receiver twos or the best wide receiver two in the NFL. You also hear like, oh, if he were to go on any other team other than Bengals, he'd be a wide receiver 1, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to go over some names that are those wide receiver 1s, maybe one or two of the wide receiver 2s that people compare him to, and see how many of these top names would we actually take T. Higgins over going into next season, therefore being like, would he be the wide receiver 1 on that team?
Okay.
Now, we are still doing like, it is still stereotypical this or that rules of do you take him or that person,
Gotcha.
not is he the wide receiver 1 on the team, otherwise we could just go by team. But it is just fun to contemplate because a lot of people would say he would be a wide receiver 1 on a bunch of other teams. So we're kind of going to discuss that a little bit.
Do it.
So this or that, extended T. Higgins edition, because there's a lot of names to get through.
Extended when we talk about
Luke,
T. Higgins.
another flag on you.
That's not allowed.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Go.
it is. Name number 1, Puka Nacua.
T. Higgins.
Yeah? Okay. I would also take T. Higgins. Luke?
You're so crazy.
Oh, you can't talk.
He's asking me.
I asked. I'll let him. It's part of the
It
conversation.
is
I'll let
Puka
him.
Nacua.
Why?
I disagree.
It's just so easy. Look up the last 2 seasons. Puka Nacua was a rookie, and then last year was a second year. Look up the stats. It's Puka Nacua all the way.
It is nothing to me. It has nothing to do with stats. It is everything to do with the style play. I think Puka Nacua is a great receiver. I think he's an incredible receiver. I think he's right now. Well, actually, we'll see. But I'd say he's in the past been the wide receiver 1 on the Rams, even with Cooper Kupp there.
Exactly.
I think T. Higgins' skill set, I think, is better than Puka Nacua's. I think T. Higgins has better hands.
Bigger target.
I think T. Higgins has better hands. I
You
think
can
he's
make
a better
that
jump
statement
ball
about-
receiver. I think he's a more physical receiver.
But that doesn't mean he's better.
I would.
But that's not the question.
Who would I take? I would take.
I
T.
would
Higgins
take
going
him as
into
my
next season.
yeah.
As if I'm looking
Okay.
for a wide receiver, I would take
right,
T.
go.
Higgins over Puka Nacua
Do
right
it.
now.
Okay, next.
Okay, next name, Devontae Adams.
I'm taking Devontae.
I am also taking Devontae Adams.
It's-
I don't know.
I still think Devontae Adams is a top receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is still that guy.
I'm proud of you for not saying T. Higgins.
No,
I thought you were going
I-
to say T. Higgins.
No,
but
there
I
are
think
That's a
names.
tough one for
There
me.
are names. There are names on here that I am going to take over T. Higgins.
Here's the
and
deal,
some
though.
might be controversial and
If
some
you-
might not. But
If you think that Devontae Adams is, you would rather have Devontae Adams over T. Higgins, I'm just going to say watch this season because I guarantee you that Puka is the wide receiver 1 and Devontae Adams is the wide receiver 2.
I think you might be right, but I
Devontae
think
Adams.
part of that is going to be because Puka Nacua has already played 2 seasons with Matthew Stafford. I think Devontae Adams is a better receiver than Puka Nacua, but I think because Puka Nacua has already been integrated in Sean McVay's offense with Matthew Stafford and his 2 years of chemistry with him already, yes, he's going to stay the wide receiver 1. But I still think Devontae Adams is a better receiver than Puka Nacua.
I go Devontae Adams because I think if I'm the opposing team and I got either one of those guys, I'm more threatened by Devontae Adams than I'm T.
Tay
Higgins.
is one of people say
Tay.
Devontae Adams is one of the best.
Giving him his nickname.
His cuts,
I mean, people do call him that, but
his
whatever.
route running is
Did he give you
so.
permission to call him that? No.
His route running and agility is so good. Like it's so quick.
All right,
like,
next.
It's amazing.
We know.
Let's
do it.
Okay, so this is a name where we're talking definitive wide receiver 1 on the team right now versus T. Higgins. Drake London.
T. Higgins.
I'm taking
I think.
T. Higgins over Drake London.
Yeah,
But
I'll go T. Higgins on that.
I'm really excited to see what Drake London does.
I am too.
With Michael Penix.
But I am still taking T. Higgins
I
over
think
Drake London.
to me they're kind of equal, and so with experience and whatever, I go T. Higgins.
Exactly, but I do think Drake
I
London
don't
will be a
think
top.
kind of equal, but I don't know about that. But
Well,
I think I will say
other than Drake London, who's the other option?
I have
Mooney?
a list on my phone.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, now, but not like when.
I have a list on
What
my
do you
phone
mean
of who
now?
I think
They
the
had
top
him
20
last
wide
year.
receivers
Okay,
are,
but
and Drake London is so far behind T. Higgins.
I
And
don't
Kyle
know.
Pitts and Bijan, who fights for targets.
Whatever. No way. I mean, I go T. Higgins easy on this one.
And
but
this is no
no.
disrespect to Drake London, but I think
I-
T. Higgins is so much better of
I
a receiver than Drake London.
think Drake London will be a top 7 receiver this year.
Okay.
okay.
And you know what? I would love to see that happen because I do like the Falcons. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, I only like the
And
Falcons
Drake
if Kirk
London, I
Cousins
think
plays.
Drake London has been
He's not playing.
dealing with really bad quarterback play. I just started watching the quarterback show, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Ooh, I
I'm
need to
still on
watch it.
episode 1.
Okay.
Okay, next name.
Yep.
So I said, did anybody here not say Drake London?
Nope.
Okay, so we're all taking T over Drake London. Okay, next name. This might be a little tougher. Garrett Wilson or T. Higgins?
Garrett Wilson.
I'm taking T. Higgins.
Garrett Wilson.
I'm taking T.
Mm.
I think Garrett Wilson's very good.
I
But
think
I'm
T.
taking
Higgins. I think he's a greater threat.
I think I'm taking T. Higgins over Garrett Wilson.
I think T. Higgins is a greater threat.
Kind of what we said with Drake London, though. I
now.
am very interested to see how Garrett Wilson plays with his
I
college
will
quarterback reunited
say
with him.
this. I will
Yeah.
say this.
I think I might know what you're gonna say.
Justin
I
Fields
think
and- could be-
the past like 2 years, I would say, we've kind of always been waiting for Garrett Wilson to
Yep.
like, this is the year he's going to break out. This is the year he's
Aaron
going to go off.
Rodgers and
Yeah.
I think he's a very, very spectacular player, and I will say
Agreed.
the past couple years
High
he's had
flashes.
inconsistent QB play, and he still put up good numbers.
very good numbers.
But that being said, I feel like this may be another DK Metcalf situation where we're always waiting for, like, this is the year he really breaks out and becomes like a top 5 wide receiver, and then just never really does. So, which would be sad because I think Garrett Wilson is very, very, very good wide receiver, and I think he's kind of been held back by QB play the past couple of years.
that's
so
what I was gonna say.
I feel like we really haven't. I will say probably haven't seen what he is really capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I think he was just starting to get connected with Aaron Rodgers, they get
Yeah.
Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams already have a connection. So
I'm
I
so
would
glad I had
probably
Devontae Adams on my
say
fantasy team
Me too.
after that happened.
I traded Aaron Jones and Cooper Kupp for Devontae Adams and
Devontae Adams in the playoffs, I think in one game put up like 40 points for me.
Anyways,
It was awesome.
so I would say I may slightly, I don't know. But I think if you put T. Higgins on the Jets, I don't think T. Higgins is a wide receiver 1.
No,
So that's
but,
why I think
but
I may-
think T. Higgins is a better receiver
That's why I think
than
I
Garrett
may
Wilson.
go Garrett. Yeah, I may go Garrett Wilson.
I don't know. I think it's closer, but
I don't know.
if we're changing the conversation to who the wide receiver 1 on the team is, I don't know. Because here's the problem: whenever you have a new wide receiver come in, when you already have a wide receiver 1 established, unless that wide receiver is universally considered a top 5 receiver, they are not going to be the wide receiver 1. It is typically the person who's already been there, right? So that's where things change in the conversation. But if we're talking about who do I want on my team going into next year, I'm taking T. Higgins. Because even though T. Higgins struggled to stay healthy, when he was healthy this year, man, that guy was electric.
I think some of this. So I'm going to push a little bit on all this because I think this is very skewed. Because I don't. In some ways, these guys that we're putting T. Higgins up against have not had good quarterback play.
Exactly.
And so it's really difficult. Like, we're basing T. Higgins on one of the best quarterbacks potentially of all time,
We're
in Joe
getting
Burrow.
there. We're getting
And
there.
so I think it's really hard it's maybe a little skewed,
yeah.
to say, well, it's hard for Garrett. Well, who has he had consistently?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying I think I may go Garrett Wilson because I think he's been able to produce pretty solid numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an alpha wide receiver.
Sure, but can I give you an example of where the quarterback
Well,
play wasn't as big of a thing?
Yeah.
Look at Malik Neighbors this past year when he was healthy.
Malik Neighbors is different. I
Yeah,
would choose Malik
I'm just-
Neighbors over
I'm
T.
just-
Higgins.
Listen, huh?
I would choose Malik Neighbors over T. Higgins.
I would too.
I also, honestly, that's a conversation for me. I don't know if I would now, but I might.
I would.
I will say it's a much closer conversation than I think any of the other names I've taken T. Higgins over at this point. But you were talking about bad quarterback play. Give me a couple names. We'll get there. Number
What is he talking
5 name. Number 5 name.
Okay.
T. Higgins or DJ Moore.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
I think I'm also going to take T. Higgins
right.
here. I think respect to DJ Moore, though.
I love DJ Moore.
I think
but-
DJ Moore is I think he's an underrated receiver, personally.
Yeah, I think too, especially because last year, and I know it was a little different last year because he had a rookie quarterback and everything, but DJ Moore really didn't have that spectacular of a year. So I would say I will probably take T. Higgins.
Okay.
I have a quick. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to interject something.
Sure.
For those people listening and watching, I have a question for you guys. So please put in the comments. Who of the three of us is wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and wide receiver 3?
I can tell you who
of
wide
the
receiver,
three of us.
I can tell you who's wide receiver 1 right now.
Okay, so anyway,
the
just
comments
don't
have
say
to
anything.
decide.
So the comments will determine.
Just heads up, I am the
Well,
tallest
actually,
one.
right,
so
You know what?
who's wide receiver 1? Who's wide receiver 2?
we're
Who's
talking
wide
injury-
receiver 3? Okay, so go next one.
Okay. Next name. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
I'm taking Tyreek Hill. I think people
Tyreek Hill.
I think people are so quick
Yeah.
to write off Tyreek Hill after
don't know
one
about that,
bad
but-
I don't
year.
know.
He had one bad year, and literally 2 years ago he
You
was
still
a
have
top-
to game plan for him. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I-
absolutely.
So totally, I would go him.
But no, I'm agreeing. I'm saying
no, I know.
people are saying, "Oh, Tyreek Hill's old," and I'm not saying he's not, but I'm like,
Whoa.
it literally was just 2
If he's
seasons.
old, what does that make
2
Dad?
seasons ago,
But
he
a-
led the league in receiving yards.
Yeah.
He was anybody who had him on on their fantasy team was cooking because he was going nuts. And he isn't a bad quarterback play, but it's not like he had a top 5 quarterback. Tua's
Yeah.
great, but he's not like a Josh Allen
So-
or Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow
Yeah.
or Patrick. He's not there. So I'm taking Tyreek, and I think I will be very interested to see how Tyreek does this year if Tua can stay healthy and if he can stay healthy. I'm just very, very curious to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'd take Tyreek. Easy.
Okay.
No,
I think
no
he's
difficulty.
still.
How many
especially
do we
if he
have total? How many left?
can- 5 more.
Ooh.
Oh my.
That's
gosh.
why I'm going.
Give
That's why
us-
I'm going fast. That's why I'm going fast.
Okay.
All right, next name, Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin.
It's close for me.
It shouldn't be.
But I lean Terry McLaurin
All right.
because immediately after his quarterback situation got better, and granted, Jaden Daniels is. If Jaden Daniels continues to play at this level, he's
mean,
already a top 6.
I will
7
say his
quarterback in the
touchdowns increased, but his yards really didn't increase that much.
I will say McLaurin, but it's close.
His production.
It's close.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think T Higgins is a more consistent.
Terry McLaurin will produce no matter what.
Yeah,
Not sure
I
if
don't
T.
know.
Higgins would.
I think again going into next year, especially for
I love
health
Terry.
for health things too. You got to
Scary
consider
Terry.
that. Scary Terry. He's typically
Ohio State boy.
I
Terry
know.
McLaurin's
Oh, so
typically
good.
healthy
Love Ohio
more than
Yeah.
T Higgins too. So
Love
I
Ohio State wide receivers.
got to give respect to Terry McLaurin. I lean Terry McLaurin on this slightly, very
Okay.
so slightly.
Wait, T. Higgins went to Clemson.
Okay, number 8.
Oh yeah.
kind of an easier one, but still kind of an underrated wide receiver who I would say is the wide receiver 1 on the team, Chris Godwin.
T. Higgins.
I mean, I think it's T Higgins.
They're
It's
kind
not
of
even
equal
close.
to me in some
It
ways.
just depends
but
because Chris Godwin got hurt last year, so
Yeah,
in my
it's
mind I'm
kinda
like,
hard, yeah.
Chris
he's coming
Godwin,
off
when he's
injury.
the last 2 seasons when he was healthy, he was putting
Uh,
up great numbers with Baker at QB. See, I told you we get numbers with better quarterbacks.
Yeah.
throwing to them. Better
I
than-
love Baker Mayfield.
I do like Baker
Me
Mayfield.
too.
Shake
You know
and
what?
bake,
He's
baby.
probably my favorite player in the NFL. No cap.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's true. I
He's
could.
probably my
Yeah.
favorite.
He's fun, dude.
I don't root for anybody as much as I root for
Okay,
Baker.
but let's
Yeah, I'm
stand
with you on that.
stand test.
That's
Stand
good.
test. Chris Godwin or T Higgins?
I'm
taking T Higgins.
I guess I go T. I just
T. Higgins
Probably would.
probably, yeah.
Okay.
He's sturdy. Well, honestly, no.
Next
He's not, but
next name. Stephon Diggs.
T. Higgins.
Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
I feel like
I
Stephon's
need
been
to hear
pretty
his-
inconsistent.
I'm taking
He got hurt last
did
year.
get hurt
tore
last
his
Yeah, but I
ACL.
feel like he can't. I don't know. Just to jump from teams to team to team to me, it's kind of like that. I
Okay,
don't
just
know.
because
And
he's
my-
a bad person doesn't mean he's a better wide receiver
look
than
at Josh
T.
No,
Gordon.
but
Would
like-
you have said Josh Gordon did drugs?
Josh
and he was
Gordon
one
could
of
have
the best-
potentially been the best wide receiver of all time
yeah,
if he
right.
didn't like weed.
Well, like you can judge him by your standards. I'll judge him by my standards.
The holy standard.
I will say I lean T Higgins.
Yep.
Part of that too, you got to consider the locker room problem that Stephon Diggs might have been to Buffalo.
I think he. Yeah, I just don't think he's a guy.
I think
on-
he's
This is
super-
crazy.
on my team.
I'm
no,
choosing
don't get me
Stephon
wrong.
Diggs.
I think Stephon Diggs is super talented, but it's kind of like he kind of feels to me now like a poor man's
You're wrong.
Tyreek Hill.
What?
I think Tyreek Hill is. I would.
The only thing that's really holding me back about Stephon Diggs right now is the fact that he's coming off an ACL injury, I think. So, not
but
great.
that's still a reason to take
But
T over
even
Stephon
off
Diggs.
of an ACL injury, I'm still taking Stephon
He's
Diggs.
very good. I think he's another wide receiver that people have kind of written off a little bit. I do think Stephon Diggs is very, very, very good. That being said, I think T Higgins. I really do think T Higgins is one of the I think he's one of the best receivers in the NFL right now, too. So I'm taking T over Stephon Diggs, but I do hope Stephon Diggs does great with the Patriots because I'd love to see that for Drake May, too.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Okay,
May
next name up. Second
be
to
he
last
will.
name. Second to
Okay.
last name. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
T. Higgins. Yeah, T. Higgins.
But I'm
only
taking
really
T, but you do have to
seen
think. You do have to think about it
We've
a little
only
bit.
really seen 1 year off of JSN.
It was great, though.
It was a good year. Don't get me wrong, but
I would
We've
probably go
only-
T. Higgins. Like if
we've
I had
only-
both of them on the same team, I would probably have T. Higgins as my number one.
Yeah,
I would say T. Higgins.
I'm going T Higgins too.
Although I love
Kinda-
JSN.
I think
Another
JSN
Ohio
is.
State guy.
I think JSN's a great
I know.
receiver too. I like him a
I'm
lot.
excited for
I'm glad
him.
he kind of got more targets last year, and I hope he continues
Yeah.
to do that. With DK gone, he might.
He better.
Wait, didn't they get a receiver in the draft though? No,
They
no.
got Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I don't know.
They got
yeah,
Cooper Kupp. They signed him.
Mhm.
I still think JSN's your wide receiver one. Though.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And this is the last name.
Thank the Lord.
This is the only name of all the like wide receiver twos that I've heard people debate to be better than T Higgins, and that's Devonta Smith.
No,
I'm taking T. Higgins.
me too.
I don't think Devontae Smith is a good of safety valve as T. Higgins is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, as far as wide receiver wide receiver twos go, I love Devonta Smith. I think he's obviously probably maybe the second best wide receiver two, true wide receiver. I don't know.
Yeah, on the
Third,
team he's
second,
on.
third or best, yeah.
Sure.
But I would say I would rather have T. Higgins. I don't think Devonta Smith can take. T. Higgins took over some games.
He did.
I don't think Devonta
he and
Smith
Burrow were the kind of the
really-
reason they won the Broncos.
I haven't,
game.
Yeah.
and
Like,
maybe that's just me. I really haven't seen Devonta Smith really take over games like T.
he,
Higgins.
I
can.
will say this though, he can close games.
Yeah, he can.
I mean, you look at the Super Bowl.
He's definitely a guy
He
that
got
you can't
he got
just forget
open
about.
and they hit that bomb to him and that ended the game right there. And that ball was underthrown a little bit too. Wasn't bad, but it was a little underthrown and he had to like kind of.
Yeah,
just
I
sit
don't
and take
know.
it.
I could be wrong, and I don't know a ton about him, but it just seems like
Consistency
consistency. I don't feel is there with him.
Sure.
Where but with T. Higgins, I feel like there's a lot more consistency there, and durability and reliability.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I think durability and
Not du-
reliability.
no,
reli-
because
I
mean
T. Higgins gets hurt.
reliability.
Well, actually, Devonta
Yeah.
Smith
Like
gets
if I'm
hurt
throwing the ball to T
somewhat too.
because
Not
of
as
the
much as T.
size and
Higgins.
hand, I feel like okay. I think
Yeah.
Yep.
T. Higgins, I think if you're a quarterback, I think T. Higgins makes your life easier than Devonta Smith does.
yeah, he's that safety valve. I think
Yes.
more trusted safety valve than
His hands are just,
reliable than maybe Devontae Smith.
I think
Consistent
I think you're right.
is better.
And I would agree with Luke. I think we've seen T. Higgins become a major problem for
Like a
defenses.
game against the Broncos.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
well,
that
him
game was so cool.
Dude, Burrow and Higgins kind of just single-handedly, like, offensively just tore the Broncos to shreds.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
Where they were, look, because with no help of the defense, but, like, they kind of had to, they did
Yeah.
it. I mean, T. Higgins had 3 touchdowns, like, over 100 yards that game. I mean, there have been games where
He
T.
had like
Higgins
150 or something.
well, but
Yeah.
even like, I would even say, even I know you have Jamar Chase on the team, and Jamar Chase is definitely the wide receiver one on the team, no doubt. But there's something to be said about, man, it's so helpful in an offense to know that, like, even if Jamar Chase is getting doubled, it's still so hard to double T. Higgins, and it's somebody's gonna get open, right?
So-
like,
Yeah. Okay.
I will say one thing. This conversation.
I know, harkens back to what we talked about with Burrow having a lot of weapons. We talked about,
Exactly.
I know. That being said, and I do agree with that. But that being said, I think Burrow has shown me a lot to the point where it's like I don't think
Well,
you
yeah.
need both, man. Like we've seen great receivers go to teams that have bad quarterback play and they'll do well, but they are not like they immediately like drop in production. I mean, I think Burrow has a means of getting the best out of the receivers he has too. Just because I think he's that good of a quarterback. So I don't think it doesn't change my opinion about Burrow. It does raise the question we keep having of like, what about if he didn't have Chase and Higgins? But going back to the topic at hand about Higgins particularly, the man has incredible hands. I rarely see T. Higgins when the ball is in his hands drop the ball. I can't remember the last time I've seen him do that. He's just an incredible receiver, and yeah,
Okay.
I think he's I think I have him on my top 10 list of receivers.
He's
actually,
pretty cool.
I have a list of my top receivers in the NFL somewhere, and I think he's in the top 10 somewhere.
That's great.
Okay,
That's another conversation.
We're going to name 10 wide receivers that are better than T. Higgins. Ready? You ready?
No.
Jamar
I don't
Chase,
want to talk
Justin Jefferson,
receivers anymore or NFL.
Tyreek Hill. We just named them.
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah, so
I'm done.
But I told you I had names on here I would take over T. Higgins.
Yeah, that's good.
But you said he was a top 10 wide receiver.
All right,
in the
what's
NFL.
another one? What's another
All right,
top?
the next.
Another.
So where's
One
a
more.
couple? Oh man, I gotta pick one.
You're always like this. You realize this? You
just
start the
trying to
episode
rush-
and you're just like watching the clock to see when it's
Dude,
over.
no, I'm not.
Yes, you. I see you.
I wish you had as much fun with this as me and Luke did
I
when
do
we were by
have a
ourselves.
ton of fun. I just
No, you
get
do
kind of
not.
bored. Sometimes when we're talking about the same thing
Sorry.
forever, I
It's
just
his
kind of get
fault.
bored. But I'm just being.
This or that is one of our most popular segments.
It
and people
is.
love it, and so I
Yeah,
thought
but
it'd
we've
be
never
fun
done
to
an
do.
extended this or
It
that.
is.
We haven't been gone for this long, Luke.
We're talking about T. Higgins. We're gonna do an
Oh,
extended.
now you want to
this
go
or
back to
that.
the second content.
Yeah.
All right,
No, I don't.
Let's
Let's move on.
All right. Okay, I gotta. Okay.
Be better.
We'll make this one fast.
Better.
What's something you do all the time you wish you got paid 15 by the hours for? This
By
is
the
what
hours.
Luke came up
Something
with
I
this.
do all the time.
Something you just do that you
Drive.
don't get paid for that you wish you got paid $15 an hour for.
This with my legs.
Oh, dude,
Oh, that's actually
yeah,
so
no,
good.
that's what I would do.
The leg wiggle.
I do this, and people think I like
Don't
I do
wanna
it
be
all the
there.
time.
I have to pee or something.
Or like
And
you
it's
don't
I
wanna
don't.
be there,
I just
yeah.
do it. Whatever.
I get it from you.
I know.
You're the problem.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No,
Money maker.
it's not a money. Well, it is now. I mean, $50 an hour for it.
I think that's a very good one. I'm gonna do something similar. So
What?
because I have a bit of a
Breathing.
tremor, I would say anytime like I shake even a little bit, I
Wait.
would make
Yeah.
$15 an hour. Because
What
then I
about-
just would never stop making money.
What
I would
about,
just
like,
keep making $15.
My
I know.
heart beating.
Oh.
No, I think it's gonna be something. Come on,
Like
it's gotta
something
be
you have
something.
control over.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have control over that.
Well, and I don't have control over that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying,
do.
I'm
You can
saying
stop
something.
it.
I really can't.
I'm
Sometimes
saying
I just do it,
something that's
and I'm
not
even-
like a normal bodily function for most people. Like most people don't have
Yeah.
like the tremor is kind of something that started when I was
Yeah.
little, and so it's different. You
15
like
bucks
move your
an
legs a lot.
hour
It's not
for-
like
I
something
would
that's a
say
normal
like
part of an
driving. I
everyday
feel
life.
like
Driving.
yeah.
Yeah, you spend a decent amount
Because
of
then
car drive.
imagine you're driving like on a car trip, a long car trip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
do you always?
Ah, that's true. Maybe $15 an hour isn't good.
I feel like
for
there's
that.
other things you could
Why
still
not?
do that would get you more. I have one that would be very sad you could do. It'd be disappointing. And I'm saying for all of us is
Uh-oh.
anytime you look at your phone.
Ooh.
Oh, I
And
get
that-
paid so
that go-
much money.
I know.
Oh!
We would,
Dude, bazillionaire.
Dude, I
Yeah.
averaged in 1 week. I averaged like 8.5 hours
Of screen
time.
A day?
I probably
Yeah.
do that too, honestly.
What?
I
Luke?
a
probably,
while
I
ago,
probably do that too, honestly. The amount
Now
of
I
times I,
average
check my
like
phone.
now I
yeah.
average like 5 hours.
It's not good. They did a study on like how many hours a day people spend on their phone. It's like
Oh, no.
6 or 7 or something. It's crazy.
We want to know how many hours a day.
Check your screen time.
Average. Post in the comments. What's it look?
What's
Look
your
it
screen
up.
time
Tell
average?
us. No shame. Just let us know.
Do you get the everyone I feel like gets the notifications of their screen time and
I
how much
don't.
they get. Every week I get your screen time was 5 hours and 34 minutes. You average this, and I'm like, thank you, phone.
Okay,
Okay.
so could we challenge each other
No.
between
No,
now?
I'm not doing that.
I work in front of a computer every day, Dad. I
At this
can't
point, if
Yeah.
it kills me, it
Fall
kills
on your
me.
phone.
Okay.
Huh?
What?
still work in front of a computer every day.
What are you talking about?
Like your screen
we talking
time
about?
challenge and lowering your screen time on your phone.
Nah.
Why
I
would
need-
I?
Because there are things I
Because
can
it's
do.
good for you.
I'm gonna die anyway.
Oh my
Anyway.
If I
word!
die by my phone, I die by my phone.
Anyway.
They call me a phony.
Okay. So the next thing.
Okay.
It's a news segment.
Ooh.
Oh,
I need
gosh.
the sad
News segment
trumpets.
this
The
late?
what?
I get to do this one. Sad trumpets.
Okay.
This segment is called Womp Womp.
Womp womp.
Womp Womp.
Not even
High
planned.
five.
The goal of Womp Womp
Okay.
That's
goal
why
of
I'm the
Womp
favorite
Womp
son.
is to share. We have to share a bad, a painful, or gross memory, or something, or just something we regret in our past.
Okay.
And it's called. That's what Womp
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 Womp.
is. And for this one, it's gonna be somewhat. It's got to be like somewhat sports adjacent. Like it's got to be kind of consistent. And
A bad or painful memory?
And this can be funny. It can be very real. Like it's called Womp Womp. It's supposed to be like a disappointment.
One time, This was before my senior year of high
Scared.
school, and it was in summer workouts, and we were scrimmaging a team. And
got the elbow. He's like,
this is in front of, like, my team is there, obviously, and then we have, like, some, like, parents from, like, the high school were, like, watching the scrimmage. And I was bringing the ball up, and I tripped and fell. And I was so embarrassed that I pretended that I, like, hurt my knee really bad.
What?
Yeah, and they carried me to the bench.
No way.
Yeah, they carried me to the bench. They got me
Luke.
ice.
he's just embarrassed.
They I'm pretty sure
I never knew this.
my
I didn't
coach,
either.
walked me to my car to make sure I was okay. He texted me to make sure I got home safe.
It's a
Wow.
whole tangled web
Wow.
we
And
weave.
he's like, "All right, go to the doctor and get an X-ray." And I'm like, "I'm not doing that. I'm fine."
Oh my
Not paying.
God.
He's like, and tell me what he says. And if because I think he was worried if it was an ACL.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in your
Oh.
knee, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think he was worried about that. 'Cause he's like, was it a pop or did you
gosh.
feel like something?
Wow.
Did you bang it or did you pop it? And I'm like, I don't know. It all happened so
That's
fast.
So bad, Luke. I'm so
I do not condone this. I feel
How many
saddened by
times?
I know.
Hold on. How many times on the show does Luke just talk about? Yeah, I lied. It's like
Yeah.
just a glorified version story of Luke.
I'm not.
lying.
I still feel bad about this to this day.
You should.
And
You really should.
because he even texted me later on in the summer and was like, "Hey man, just wanted to check in. How's the knee?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's a miracle. It's all good.
Oh, brother. Oh my word.
Praise be." And
Yeah,
it
praise
was
be.
Whatever.
it was.
I'm praising you're lying.
feel
Luke gets
so
struck by
bad for
lightning.
that.
I know.
Seriously, I feel
You're
bad
amazing.
about that. I do feel really bad about
Well,
that.
Good. You should.
It's confessions.
And
good
then
for
I
the
didn't
soul.
even.
Tell
And
them.
then I did not even play my senior season of high school,
Wow.
which I'm glad I didn't.
I'm sorry. So this is what? This is a bad,
Womp womp.
painful. Oh.
Yeah, bad, painful, or gross memory, or
Should be like,
or
wah,
something you
wah,
regret.
wah.
Well, okay. I have a, so
Somewhat
mine would
sports
be, we were playing. I was I don't know. I was in junior high. It was a time when I had braces. You guys know the story, but
Mm-hmm.
some dads and their sons would get together at a local gym, and we would play basketball. Just guys from church or whatever, with their sons. And so I had braces or whatever, and so we were playing just a pickup game, and was running down the court, and a teammate of mine passed me the ball, wasn't too far from him. He realized as soon as the ball leaves his hands that I'm not looking. So he yells my name, I turn, and boom, the ball hits me square in the mouth.
Have we talked about
Ouch.
this on the
Yeah, I
podcast
think so.
before?
I've shared this before. Not on the podcast.
I don't think we have.
I don't think so. So the force of the ball pushes my
Oh.
lips up against the
I
metal
hate
in my
this.
mouth,
Ouch.
and it cut the inside of my
Oh, that's
mouth
so painful.
open, and there was little strings of
Bro, I hate
The wire.
skin,
Oh, the
skin
skin?
inside my because it just ripped it open.
Shredded your mouth.
How did
Yeah,
you?
it
How
kinda
did, how
shredded.
did you taste?
I don't think I did.
How
I
did
still
you taste?
don't.
Bloody.
So anyway, so that was a memory,
Flesh.
and I was obviously I'm oh, so painful, and yet
Oh,
you're you're with the bros, and you're trying to be all, you're in middle school,
You're blood, gut.
Yeah,
I'm fine,
bro-
guys. I'm so
Yeah.
fine. Let's
My
just
mouth
run
is
it. Let's just run it. Let's just run it, guys. Let's just run it.
I'm good.
Guys, just run it, okay? It's fine. It's fine. It's so fine. It's so fine, guys. It's so fine.
Hey, what the heck, Jimmy? You hit me in the face.
Jimmy, don't even worry.
Yeah.
They're crying. Oh my. Oh, they
Yeah.
make the
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
right.
Oh,
It was
like
that
that.
totally.
You're like,
Anyway,
guys, I'm fine.
so that was.
Guys, don't bother me.
You sound like Sid from Ice Age a little bit.
Pine cone.
Pine cones.
Yeah.
Oh my
Goodness, they're
goodness,
my
you're
favorite.
All right, Grant, what's
All
yours?
Every sport he's ever played.
Shut up. No. I don't know. I might take it a very more I could go funny. And
What are we here? What are we here for if not to be funny?
so
Hmm.
it kind of makes
Or
me
not
laugh.
to be
I
funny?
did kind of regret it in the moment. So okay, well,
Is this when you kicked a woman?
no,
What?
no.
I was gonna say not
you
that
and
time.
kicking babies and
Luke likes
whatever.
to do this apparently.
Well,
Good
I remember
grief.
once he played against a woman in soccer, and she was bullying everybody, And then I'm pretty sure Grant was like sick of it, and he like she was pushing everybody, and all like there's with a bunch of
It's like
dudes.
a co-ed league,
And,
yeah.
like-
I'm also really small.
And guys were like I feel like they're just like afraid to like like hurt her.
Yeah.
She's just shoving these guys around. Then she goes up against Grant, and Grant's like, "Urgh!" Like
I don't remember this.
I remember watching and be like, "That's my brother."
What? Okay.
Well, I don't
Grant, what's your
well,
memory?
I've got a new bad womp womp. No,
He doesn't get pushed around.
So this happened. I don't know. I think it was this year. We're playing volleyball, and sometimes because we've been playing in this group for a long time, sometimes we jokingly trash talk a little bit, and again, I'm not. Let me be clear. I'm not proud of this. I'm not proud of
Okay.
this, and I apologize after this.
If
Let me
you
be very
swear,
clear.
just
No, I
don't
didn't.
do
And
it.
so here's what happened. So this guy, I'm going up against this guy, Krish, who's younger, and he's actually gotten really good. He's now on the
He's
club
very
team.
good.
Krish, if by any chance you watch this, I know I've apologized already, but I'm sorry. Long story short, Krish is a very good hitter, and I go up to block Krish, and I roof the heck out of him.
It's like when
block.
you like block and it just goes straight down.
Okay.
It was-
Like on their side.
Oh, I don't know
Okay.
if it went straight up, but I think this was maybe my second time blocking him. And so what sometimes we'll say after is like to just joking is like, oh man, like you're my son, or like I'm your dad or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I look and I'm feeling so good, and I'm like, Chris, I'm gonna pick you up from school tomorrow. Pack you a lunchbox or something.
Funny thing is, Chris is young enough that he actually still does go to school. He goes to high school.
I
Okay.
remember I was feeling so good.
Thanks for the ride.
Sweet.
I was,
Yeah.
I was
Do I have to
feeling
take the
so
bus
good.
tomorrow?
I think I was playing with some of the club team guys too, and I was playing with Rob. And Rob just gets so hyped, and so I'm looking at Rob like, yeah, and like I'm freaking out. I turn around and I say that to Chris.
Oh man.
I will say,
And I felt so bad, almost
I'm-
like immediately after, and I went up like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. I love you.
What
know
did
I
he
love
say?
You. He was like, "It's whatever," because it's just like
It's
that's what
whatever.
happens. But
It
I
was-
felt
Sorry,
bad
dude.
because I do like Krish a lot. Like he's really, I like playing with him a lot.
Yeah.
He's gotten so. It's been cool to see like he like first started and like
you don't have to.
now he's like
pump him
way
up
better
now.
than me. But
Yeah.
like it felt
Grant
good.
it was
in
a
the
moment you're not proud of.
I
I have
in
a
the
moment.
I was
I have
proud
a
of the
moment that
blocks. Let me be clear. I was proud of the blocks. I was not proud of what I said after.
I have a
but I
moment
just got
that-
hyped up because it felt good to block a
I have a
really
moment
good
that Grant
player.
shouldn't be proud of.
What are you doing? That no, you can't
No.
call him out.
Well,
You
it's
don't
when
get to shame
it's kind of
me.
similar.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing of like Grant. If you play sports with Grant, you know that he gets really, really hyped.
I do.
And he
I get
just
really
does things in
passionate. I
the
get
heat of
excited.
the moment, and he just like
And then
he just
sometimes
gets
I
really
forget.
hyped. So it's
sorry.
playing volleyball. He may have also blocked Krish this time, or maybe he spiked on him. I think he may have spiked on him. I don't know. And Grant does like the too small thing where he
Yeah.
like puts his
Oh,
hand
man.
and he he turns
Let me be
around.
clear. We all do. Like we've all been playing with each other.
Don't have to
It's fun.
justify. Just
Well,
do
he
it.
just does it, and he turns around. And he's like, "Oh, that's serious face." Like, when he's like,
Yeah.
watch the video, and he's like
I
this.
didn't feel good about this. I'm
And me
sorry.
and like Josh Ferguson are like, did he really just do that? Like, what in the world? Yeah, Grant gets really hype, and sometimes
Josh,
it's scary.
I look over
Yeah.
at Josh right after, and he's dying. Like
Oh,
he's
man.
I also
so
Sorry.
don't
hard.
listen. If you are high fiving after something good that you did, and Grant's on your team, and he goes
Don't
for a high
high
five,
five you
don't
too
high
hard.
five him. He'll break your hand.
I high five people.
He comes at it like he's like,
I get super hyped for not just for myself, but for other people. Like a lot of it's just like
Yeah.
when something cool happens in a game, whether I do it or someone, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like I'll do it if person I'm playing against does it. Unfortunately,
no,
it's
he
probably
won't.
not good.
Yeah.
He won't.
But
That's
I'll
lies.
be like, dang, like that was really cool. Like I
Okay.
get hyped up for other people too, but
Yeah.
it just occasionally I've gotten carried away. And listen,
This
in
happens
my
every
instance,
time.
I have apologized. Okay, like I'm not proud of it.
You don't need to apologize for greatness.
I'm not proud of it.
well.
I don't do this on the. Let me be clear. I don't do that kind of thing on
Yeah.
like a regular basis. I say this to Dad because I know he's like concerned at Grant.
No,
you
I'm
need
not
to get it
You gotta
under
concerned.
have your
control.
No.
pastor face
You
on.
need to get it
No,
under
I'm not
control.
concerned.
Like, be
It's like-
careful with how you treat other
It's
people.
okay. Like
You just have that's your pastor face and your pastor
And again,
voice.
like I said,
you
it's
got your
not
pastor
like
posture.
again. It's like I said.
Pastor
I don't-
posture and your
it's not
pastor
like
pasture.
I feel good. It's not
Stop.
like I feel good about doing it. Like I felt bad, and I was
Go to
like,
your room.
okay, I gotta be
I can't.
be careful, like, and so I try to be, and I try to be a very encouraging
Well,
person
but
when I play anyway.
to be fair, the whole segment was something that you're not proud of.
yeah,
It's
so
not like you have to like apologize. We're just
Yeah.
sharing things that like, hey, I'm not proud of this, and or it's painful or hurt or whatever.
I'm a very.
I
I'm also just genuinely a very competitive
can't
person,
wait.
so it's hard to like.
I can't
Sometimes
wait
I've
'cause-
had to grow a lot in controlling that.
Yeah.
And
Do you know
I
how
feel like I've gotten better.
You know how Spotify will like automatically title like different segments?
Yeah.
This segment's gonna be called Grant apologizes multiple times. It's gonna be like the past 10 minutes is Grant is sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Grant's
To be
still
like,
sorry.
What
I
happened?
am.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not,
okay.
Listen, it's like I said, I'm very competitive.
You
I'm
should be
trying.
sorry.
I'm
It's
very
all right.
passionate and
Here's what here's-
extroverted. So
when
I have
you're
to
with
sometimes be
friends,
careful.
like it doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
don't care.
And we
Well,
are. We
I
I mean, like
are.
obviously
we
don't be
all
like
do-
mean, but
wanna be
like
a jerk.
if you're trash talking, what we all trash talk.
Yeah.
Who
I think it
cares?
depends
Honestly,
on who
like,
you're with.
there's a part of me that's like when we do that to one another, like especially as guys, like we do it and we're like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's in jest. Like we're doing it because it's for, yeah,
Yeah.
and we do it because it's like we're close
Yeah.
and like we do it, but we know at the end of the day, hey, we're still friends. We're just getting competitive, having fun, whatever.
Yeah.
And some people they don't understand that, and then some they
That's a topic for another
it,
time.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it is. And it's okay. But, like I said, there were a couple times I got a little far and I felt kind of bad about it. And so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a competitive guy. Sorry.
You met somebody outside in the parking lot, just beat him to a pulp.
Chris has thrown me against the car and just beating the crap out of me. And
No.
Chris is actually,
No.
I like, Chris is awesome.
Maybe, I
Chris
don't
is a
know.
great
I
guy.
don't know.
And Chris has become a really good volleyball player, too, actually.
Okay.
All right.
awesome.
Well, is that a wrap?
Thank you, everybody.
That is.
Please don't.
Hold on. Let me make sure. Because
We just don't have to. make
There
sure.
were a couple other things, but like that was.
What were they? We'll go
these
through
are
them rapid fire.
small,
Rapid
like-
fire.
No.
Rapid fire.
No.
Rapid fire.
we haven't done this in a long
Rapid fire.
time.
Just do
I
rapid
know.
fire.
Okay.
Go.
So
Just speak faster.
I'll just pick one. I'll
Okay.
save one of them for the other.
Okay.
Just a hot take
Okay.
on, and I'm
On
calling
life?
this hot take personal preference edition. Can literally be about anything at all, and I have
Hot
mine.
take.
I have mine.
What is it?
Go.
Outside is overrated.
Okay. Fair.
I
like that.
And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about like the beauty of outside. Like I
Just like going outside, being
I'm saying
outside.
like just the fact when people will be like, go outside, you go outside. I'm like, I think a lot of people are saying like you need to do that to get out of the house. You can
No,
get
I'm
out of
pretty
the
sure
house.
They mean go outside.
No, but I'm also just like, look, it's good for you to get sunlight, but like, listen, outside has
yeah,
bugs.
it is. Like,
Outside
it's
is not
very good.
Outside is not air conditioned. People are like, well, you can swim and stuff. There are indoor pools, okay? Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, there's things you can do inside that match the level of fun it is outside. And I'm like, listen,
can't
I
hunt.
enjoy playing volleyball inside,
You can't hunt
and that's okay.
inside.
You can do a lot of things that you do outside, inside in certain facilities. And so I'm just like, outside's kind of overrated when you can do the same things outside that you
can't
can do
enjoy
inside.
the sun.
you can't go to the beach out inside.
That's one of the few times where I'm like, I will go outside is because of the beach. But like outside of that,
Outside.
when do I go outside?
to get food.
When do you? When you don't
Between
ever go
shifts
outside.
to the car, like that's it. That's and that's why I get so pale and lose my tan so easily.
went
To
So
get
outside.
food, to exercise.
I went outside.
you can
Did you go to
exercise
the gym?
inside. You can
You
exercise
go to the
inside.
gym though.
I went outside on Saturday.
Good job, Luke. Guys, Luke went outside on Saturday.
Be proud of me. I did
That's
it.
really good.
I touched grass.
All right, what's your hot take? I don't know if I have a hot take.
I have one. I should.
I really
think
thought
of
you
it.
guys would challenge my outside is overrated.
Oh,
thing a
I
bit
think
more,
it's
but
okay.
totally over. Well, I don't know.
I hate bugs too, and bugs are outside.
think it's
There's bugs
overrated.
inside too, but
hot take.
their realm is outside.
I feel like I definitely had one this past week, but I just forget
I
what
feel
it
like you've
was.
told me one before when we were thinking about doing this, and I can't remember what it was.
I feel like I genuinely have a lot of hot takes.
You do. You typically say some outlandish stuff.
That too. But I also have hot takes, but I don't know what they are. Oh, okay. Hot take. Fantasy football. I think that Bijan Robinson should be, if you have the 1-1 in fantasy football and drafting, I think you should draft Bijan Robinson. I think it's the safest pick. Because historically, Jamar Chase is the 1-1, right? And draft ADP. Typically, not a lot of, it's never happened where a
I would take
1-1 has
Saquon.
repeated.
I would take Saquon 1-1
Uh,
over Bijan.
I think
Sorry.
that's also good, but I would take Bijan. I think because especially with Penix, he averaged I think Bijan averaged 25 points per
But
game.
did they
in the 2 games
Did they
that
improve
Penix-
their O line though? Because that's the thing is the
don't need
reason
to.
the Eagles. What are you talking about? They don't need to.
I mean, they do, but that's fine. They have Chris Lindstrom,
okay, well,
right?
the Eagles have one of the best offensive line units in the NFL.
I
Consistently,
don't know.
like, consistently year to year.
I would say as far as like Saquon is not as big. I would say as much of a and it's PPR, so put that in perspective. I think Bijan gets more targets than Saquon does. And
Yes.
again, I don't know. I think with a quarterback like Penix, you may want to he'll probably may want to use a safety valve. And typically the running backs are kind of like the ones that go into the flats and just, check down. So I would say that's my hot take.
I don't
It's
hate.
why it's a hot take because you don't have to agree with it.
Well,
It's
yeah,
hot.
but that's the thing is,
Not cold.
I have one.
I don't hate that hot take. I just think it's, to me, like, I don't.
It's a hot
know-
take.
Yeah, I don't know how you would.
Here's
pick
my hot
that
take.
over
You ready?
Saquon, but okay. What's your hot take?
LeBron James does not play on the Los Angeles Lakers next year.
Oh, that's a good one.
He
does
just
not play.
exercised his player option though.
To get traded.
Mm-hmm. That's my hot take. That he will not be.
You don't
He
think
will.
he's gonna be like-
He will not
Okay.
start
Then
the
where do you
next
think he's gonna
NBA
go?
season
Where do you think he's gonna go?
in a Lakers
Do you
uniform.
think he retires a Cav?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I think he goes east. I think he's either with the Knicks. I think he maybe
I
signs
hope
with the
not.
Knicks.
I
That's been the
hope
kind of the
not.
conversation.
If he goes, this is maybe a little off topic.
It is
If
so
he
off
wins,
topic.
if he wins a 5th ring with another different team, how does that impact the GOAT conversation?
Huge.
Okay, but it depends on
With a
his-
4th team, you have 5 rings with 4 teams. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's insane to me.
And I have another hot take.
Okay.
Okay.
Formula One becomes within the top 5 watched sports in the U.S. within
Is
the
it-
next couple
is it
of
I
years.
think
already?
it should. I think it should.
I don't think it
I
is.
think it should.
I think
I
it
don't
should.
understand.
in the
Especially
next,
too because of
it's
the
getting
movie.
there close. Yeah. Oh, I didn't think
and
about
it
that.
was funny too because people were like the British Grand Prix was this past weekend, and people were like the first F1 race that people are watching after this movie is like the British Grand Prix with Nico
Oh yeah. Hülkenberg.
Hülkenberg finishing P3, which I'm super happy for the guy.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was
by the
great.
way. It was funny. I think it was Oscar Piastri was like, "How does it feel that your trophy is
I
made out
saw
of
that,
Legos?"
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, it's fine. My daughter will play with it."
She'll love it.
I was
Yeah,
like, "That's
it was good.
awesome."
Do you want to know what the top 5 are now?
Sure.
Yeah.
There's some things on here.
Wait.
that
Can
are
we try to
Okay.
guess? Can we try to guess?
Yeah, there's some things on here that are very
NFL
crazy.
for sure. NBA.
No,
NFL?
no,
Yes, most
Soccer.
watched.
Soccer.
Yeah. No, in the U.S.
In the U.S.
I'm
US.
saying in the U.S.
Oh, well, that's different. Okay.
I know. I was saying Formula One will be one of the top within the
Let me
top
change
5
my
watched
Google.
sports in the U.S.
Okay,
is what
in
I
the
said.
US. Okay.
In the U.
In the U.S.
Top 5
NFL
more-
for sure is one.
NBA,
NBA,
MLB.
baseball.
Well, let me pull it up.
Hockey.
Okay.
People like hockey.
Number 1. That makes me sad, but okay.
What is it?
Soccer
Okay.
is probably not in the top 5.
No.
No. I just.
yeah.
Okay.
so,
Okay. Number 1. What do you guys think? Number 1.
NFL.
Okay. Yes, it is. Number
Number
1 is the
2.
NFL with Number 2. Okay. What do you think?
NBA.
No.
MLB.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
It
third
makes
is
me
NBA.
sad. It makes me sad too.
Third is
is
NBA.
Third is NBA. Yes.
NHL's 4.
4 is NHL.
It is NHL.
Wow. Okay. 5
is golf.
NASCAR.
No.
Wow. Most watched.
It is.
Don't tell me. Don't. I want to guess
Wait,
this
wait.
so bad.
Hold on. Man. MLS.
It is MLS.
Wow.
yeah, okay.
Which I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy about that because I like that viewership for soccer is
Okay.
going up, but it's still sad how the United States.
So is it
team
possible? So okay. So Formula One's got to overtake one of those. It could overtake hockey or MLS. I think.
I think it could.
I don't want it to overtake
I think it could take
soccer.
over
But
one
I
of
would be
those.
okay with it. Man, I'm not gonna lie, and this is just because I really don't.
I think
like
if you like
baseball. I
baseball,
kinda hate
you will like
I
Formula
kind of
One.
hate baseball as number 2. I really
I feel like
don't
we could
like
get a lot of the
baseball. I'm not too
baseball,
surprised by
the MLB.
It is kind of
fans to
America's
cross over and
sport,
watch.
so-
Yeah,
F1.
totally.
It's a very. I feel like racing is very like.
So those
Americans
are my
like-
2 hot
I would
takes.
rather watch F1
LeBron
over
James is not in a
baseball.
Lakers uniform. You know it. You heard it here first. He's not in a Lakers uniform come start of NBA season.
Okay.
Formula One becomes one of the top 5 most watched sports in the U.S.
And
within the next
outside
2
years.
years.
is overrated.
And Bijan Robinson should be the number 1 overall pick.
Those are our hot takes. Guys, we did it.
Guys,
we finally recorded.
we did it.
We finally recorded another episode for
Yes.
the first time in like
Share your
6
thoughts in
weeks.
the comments. Ask us questions.
Put questions in the comments.
Who's
yes.
the wide receiver 1, 2, or 3? Let us know.
Out of us three, yeah.
Out of us three, and we'll let you know.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into our latest episode of the Sports
F.A.M.
Podcast. You guys have a great rest of your week. We'll see you again soon.
Bye, everybody. Peace out.